6 p.m. Sunday. You can do it when you B&Q it.
Tá céim chun tasig I dro heachta na haireachta im léana. Agric imacht chun cabhair le phobalsa ar monchlocha a Isrú. Cur tús leis an blanál agus clórig imacht ar Heritage Week Pancaí inniu. Tá seachta náisiúnta na haireachta ina clóir de chuid na cóirle aireachta le takeíocht ó líonraí aireachta na núdóras áitiúil agus an rainn tííochta rialtas áitiúil agus aireachta.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why.
Have you got your Euro Millions ticket yet? Play responsibly in-store, in-app or at lottery.ie. The National Lottery. It could be you.
Good morning. The time is 9 o'clock. I'm going to pass you over to Greg Hughes, who's out and about this morning. Greg, good morning.
Thanks, Lee. Yeah, indeed, we're very excited. We're down in Letterkenny for the grand opening of the Donegal Horizons. It's all off at 10. We're here from 9. Of course, chatting to loads of people here, Lee, but also inviting people down at 10 for the official opening here, opposite M&S in Letterkenny, or just up the road from
the Radisson.
The Radisson, exactly. You know the score. Sure, we might see you, no? No.
You never know, could pop down.
I know. I love when people force you to make a commitment on air. All right, Lee.
Yeah.
I'll chat to you in the studio tomorrow. Thanks very much indeed. Yes, indeed. It is the 9 till noon show here on Highland Radio. Just turning a minute past 9. Let's get a news update now, and it's over to Michaela Clark. No, sorry, Donna Marie Doherty. I beg your pardon, Donna Marie.
Thanks, Greg. Good morning. Social housing tenants are living in limbo because there's no funding to carry out widespread testing for defective concrete. That's according to Councillor Brian Carr, who said there's some people who are looking to buy their home from the council and cannot do so until the testing's carried out. He was told that between 8 and 10 houses have been tested over the past 3 months.
There's been very few houses tested because of the funding. The council are using their own funds at the moment to try and move things forward. The houses that have been tested lately are houses that may be attached to another house that could be ready for demolition or something like that. But there's no widespread testing, which is the big problem. And housing estates are sitting not knowing whether they have it, whether they don't have it. They're sitting worried about their future, and just everybody's sitting in limbo at the moment.
35 people, including 5 children, have been deported from Ireland to Nigeria. It's the third deportation flight this year. Stephanie Roan has the details.
Gardaí from the National Immigration Bureau carried out an operation yesterday removing individuals from the state. This resulted in 21 men, 9 women and 5 children being put on a chartered flight to Nigeria from Dublin Airport last night. Gardaí say all the children were part of family groups. The Justice Minister said the flight landed safely in Lagos this morning, adding the people on board had received but had not complied with deportation orders. This is the third deportation flight this year, but the first to Nigeria. Last month, 39 people were deported to Georgia, while in February, 32 people were deported also to Georgia.
5,600 carers across Donegal are receiving their care support grant from today. It's paid to those who care full-time for an older person or someone with a disability. The annual payment's rising to €2,000 this year, its highest ever level. Efforts to reduce the waiting times for driving tests appear to be working already. The Road Safety Authority introduced new measures last month, including making test times available at weekends and on bank holidays. The RSA says that since May 31st, the average national waiting time for a test has fallen from 22 weeks to 20.6 weeks. It's down from 27 weeks in April. Over 330 homes, farms and businesses have experienced power loss this morning in Buncrana. The fault was reported just before 7:30 this morning and is hoped to be resolved within the hour. ESB has apologised for the issue and say they're working to have the repair work done as quickly as possible. And finally, having we looked out to weather, there'll be a mix of sunny spells and scattered showers today. The showers becoming more isolated through the afternoon. Highs of 12 to 15 degrees in light to moderate westerly winds. That's all for now from the news desk. Back with more at 10 o'clock.
Celebrate summer this week at Centra with their amazing summer sizzler offers. Like Red Bull energy drink 4-can packs, €4 plus deposit. Club, Pepsi and 7-Up 2-litre bottles, any 2 for €4 plus deposit. And Kyo's crinkle cut sharing bags, $1.50 each. Centra. Live every day.
And now, it's time for the talk of the Northwest. The 9 to Noon Show with Greg Hughes on Highland Radio.
Yes, indeed. A very good morning to you. It is 4 minutes past 9 on this Thursday, the 5th of June, 2025. You're very welcome along to the 9 till noon show here live on Highland Radio. The lines are open for you right now if you want to get involved in the conversation, anything we're talking about today, or indeed start your own conversation. We WhatsApp and text, or you WhatsApp and text us on 086 60 25,000, 086 60 25,000. You can give us a call to on 074 91 25,000. Or if you want to email, it's comments@highlandradio.com. And don't forget, if you want to watch today's show, which is coming live from the grand opening of Donegal Horizons new base in Letterkenny, well, you can hop on, if you're at home, to YouTube and watch us on your smart TV or your Fire Stick. We're across Facebook as well, on our Facebook pages, and at Highland Radio on X. And also there's a watch live button on the website too. You can click and watch in browser as well. So no excuse not to consume the show either with your ears or your eyes today. We've got loads of guests joining us here at the Exchange. It is located at Grand Central Letterkenny, which is just up the road from the Radisson, or opposite Marks and Spencer's. It's in that space there. There's a lovely gym next to us here as well, of course. And the official opening is from 10 o'clock here. The doors will be open, and the motto of Horizons, Donegal Horizons, is opening doors, opening minds, and we'll sort of hopefully inform you as to how they do that over the course of the next 3 hours, as well as keeping you, of course, up to date with all the usual news, views and opinions. Lots of you messaged in yesterday. We didn't quite get to all of them, so we'll catch up on those as the morning progresses. Let's have a look at the newspaper, and they focus on a story we covered on the show yesterday as well. This is the Derry People Donegal News. The Keirlock of Letterkenny Milford Municipal District Council has called on the perpetrators of a wave of Gaza-related graffiti around the town to show restraint and have a think about what they are doing, as it could be counterproductive. Councillor Jerry McMonagall's comments come following a weekend that saw many residents being shocked on Sunday morning to discover the numerous acts of graffiti had emerged overnight on hoardings and on the back of road signs around the town. Meanwhile, early on Sunday morning, at least 31 Palestinians were killed and hundreds more were injured while heading to an Israeli-controlled aid distribution site. So, of course, we sampled the views of the great public of the Northwest on this yesterday. It was a mixed bag. Some people were like saying, you know, you think that's bad. Well, can you only imagine what the people of Gaza are going through? Others saying that they are incredibly sympathetic to what's happening in the Middle East, but this is not the way forward. And others suggesting that, you know, it doesn't really achieve anything other than perhaps maybe ruin Letterkenny's chances in the tidy towns. So it's one of those, it's a toughie. If you want to express your views on that, you can, of course, still do so. 086 60 25,000. On to the Derry News this morning. Lack of Protestant housing executive employees highlighted. The underrepresentation of Protestants working in one of Derry's housing executive offices has been highlighted. East Derry MP Gregory Campbell said there is a massive imbalance in the number of Protestants working for the housing executive compared with Catholics. Mr. Campbell said he has written to both the Housing Executive and the Equality Commission to see what action they intend to take to remedy the massive imbalance. Let's go to the Nationals now. And lots in them as always, of course. We'll start with the Irish Independent, and they say that the state's paying up to €180,000 per year for every single family in emergency accommodation, new figures have revealed. Housing families who need 4 bedrooms in emergency accommodation can cost up to €180,000, while housing families who need 3 bedrooms can cost up to €140,000. With hundreds of families living in emergency accommodation for more than 2 years, the cumulative costs for housing one family adds up to the price of a home. The figures showing the cost of emergency accommodation to the state were revealed for the first time by the Dublin Regional Homeless Executive following a request by Sinn Féin TD Owen O'Brien. There are more than 400 families in emergency accommodation who need properties with over 3 or 4 bedrooms. That's a huge amount of money, isn't it? €180,000. I mean, you know, if people need housing, they need housing, but is that good value for the taxpayer? I do wonder, because it costs far less, of course, to, you know, you or I, to be in one of those houses. So where's the money going? On to the Irish Times, and this is a story that's going to affect some people listening to this show, there's no doubt about that. Half of fathers who do not live with their children see their babies and toddlers several times a week, but contact becomes less frequent as children begin going to school, an Economic and Social Research Institute study has found. It prompted calls from the ESRI to include non-resident fathers in research on children's lives to provide a comprehensive picture. Using data from the Longitude study, Growing Up in Ireland, which tracks different cohorts of children, households that experienced parental separation during the study were found to be more disadvantaged. Fathers in particular tending to have lower educational levels, higher levels of unemployment and greater financial difficulties, while mothers tended to be younger, had lower levels of education and were more likely to live in an urban area. Some 14% of children aged between 9 months and 5 years do not live full-time with their fathers, rising to 18% by 9 years of age, while just over a quarter of non-resident fathers have little to no contact with their children at each age examined. Half see their babies or toddlers several times a week, according to reports. I'm not sure if that's because of sort of fathers backing out of their responsibilities or other things playing a factor. I'm sure it's both. The Irish Daily Mail this morning. Killer Richard Satchwell was yesterday branded a master manipulator who showed his wife's dog more respect than the woman he murdered. He was, as he was sentenced to life in prison, the Central Criminal Court was also told that Satchwell, who has 14 previous convictions, intends to appeal against last week's unanimous jury verdict convicting him of Tina Satchwell's murder. And he seems something of a control freak, and even in asking his solicitor to talk of the wife he was found to have murdered, he did so almost in a way that seemed to be encroaching on continuing the control that he liked to exercise. Tina's half-sister, Lorraine Howard, said in her victim impact statement, and I have to just go inside the newspaper to cover that, she said that Satchwell had treated her sibling's body with such disrespect. The appalling way my sister was buried, wrapped in plastic, buried beneath soil and concrete, put shivers down my spine every time I think about it, Miss Howard said. And they were very clear, the family, in using her maiden name to reclaim the maiden name, because obviously she's been known as Tina Satchwell, and you can understand why they would no longer want that association, especially with the person found to be responsible for her murder. The Irish Farmers Journal this morning, despite the Minister for Agriculture, Martin Hayden, committing to having all outstanding acres payments cleared by the end of June, Irish Farmers Journal analysis reveals that over 30 million has still to be issued to farmers for 24. The figure includes almost 16.5 million in advanced payments still to be made to acres general farmers, as well as a further 8.6 million to those on the acres cooperation stream. On to the Star this morning. I'm sure you've been tracking this story. A worker at Lough Derg who duped unsuspected women into helping him at the retreat so he could assault them sexually has been jailed for 4 years. Thomas Gallagher preyed on 5 female victims by asking them to help him fix washing machines and tumble dryers during a series of terrifying instances at the retreat in County Donegal. But instead of helping the workman, the women found themselves being assaulted by the 42-year-old. Details of the plans hatched by Gallagher were outlined before Letterkenny Circuit Court last week. I'm sure many of you watched on RTE last night the excellent programme in exposing what's going on in at least some nursing homes. I didn't get to see it myself for reasons outside of my control, but I will be watching it back. But I have seen clips, I've heard clips, and it is absolutely shocking. If you have a comment on it, or if you watched it, or anything you want to say in relation to that sector, please get in touch with us. But the findings of a new RTE probe into 2 nursing homes run by Ireland's top provider has been branded institutional abuse. Undercover footage shows residents crying for help, left in soiled clothes and being incorrectly handled. The 2 homes in question are the Residence Portlaoise and the Ben Nevin Manor in Glasnevin in Dublin. Both are run by Emer Ireland, who have apologised for the failings. And what it does, though, it makes you wonder, is this just 2 places that they just happen to inspect and to find these issues? Is it more widespread? I think until everyone can be assured that this is not happening anywhere, there's always going to be concerns that it could be happening everywhere. We'll see if we can get some reaction to that later on in the show. And Women taking so-called weight loss injections have been warned that they may affect how well contraceptive works. So just keep this in mind. This is in the Irish Daily Mirror. The Medicines and Healthcare Products regulator or regulatory agency says it has had 40 reports relating to pregnancy in jab users. The MHRA also said anyone getting pregnant while on treatment such as Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, Saxenda, etc. Should stop, a spokesperson explained. This is because there is not enough safety data to know whether taking the medicine could cause harm to the baby. All right, that was a run through some of the newspapers this morning. In fact, all that we have access to. We are broadcasting live today from the grand opening of Donegal Horizons, opening doors and opening minds. And we're going to be speaking to two people very heavily associated with the great work that's being done here after we take a break. But stay right where you are.
Daily newspapers are courtesy of Cosgrove, Centra and Diner, Mountaintop, Letterkenny.
Today's 9 till noon show is brought to you by Atlantic Travel in Letterkenny. From radio waves to ocean waves. Atlantic Travel, your cruise holiday experts. Visit atlantictravel.ie.
Everyone in Ireland felt the impact of the pandemic, but each experience was different. Now, Ireland's independent COVID-19 evaluation wants to hear your story. Complete the survey to help us learn lessons and prepare for future events. Visit covid19evaluation.ie.
New this week in Home Store and More. All outdoor heating is half price. But better hurry, because when all our half price outdoor heating is gone, it's gone. Also, all camping and all bath mats are still all half price. But when all the half price camping and all the half price bath mats are gone, they're definitely gone. Drop by your local Home Store and More. Visit us online at homestoreandmore.ie. Home Store and More. A happy home.
Raise funds for your charity with RSS Promotions. Enjoy a thrilling live night at the races with real jockeys, not DVDs, the only one in Ireland. Plus the Cube lip sync battles and more. Fun, interactive entertainment for all. Book now via RSS Promotions on Facebook or call 087 237 1478.
Doherty SuperValue Carndonna proudly supports local. Enjoy Simply Inish Foods, Inishown Eggs, and Donegal Bacon. Real local products, supporting real local jobs. Thanks for shopping local and backing community producers with every basket at Doherty SuperValue Carndonna.
Charge into summer with TUI. Choose from a beach cruise or city break or Mexico flying direct from Dublin. Holiday sorted. TUI, live happy.
Millions still owed to acres farmers. In this week's Irish Farmers Journal, we reveal how the department is set to miss revised acres payments target. Full details on John Magnier's High Court battle for Barn Estate. All you need to know about slurry storage TAMS grants. Why learner drivers are going abroad for driving tests. Find out all about inheritance tax relief. And don't miss your final chance to win a Yamaha quad. All inside this week's Irish Farmers Journal.
Highland Radio Time Checks brought to you by EirGrid, the operator and developer of Ireland's electricity grid. EirGrid, powering up communities, powering up Ireland. The time is?
Well, the time is just turning 18 minutes past 9. You tune to the 9 till noon show here in Highland Radio for this Thursday, and we are broadcasting live from Donegal Horizons. It's the grand opening of their wonderful facility here in Letterkenny. It is beside the Radisson Hotel. It's at the Grand Central, and the official opening is from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Everyone welcome to call in, I hope, because I've said it a few times now. Right, I'm joined by Anne Ramsey, the co-manager of this centre. Anne, how are you getting on?
I'm good, thank you, Greg.
Thanks so much for having us. It's great to be here.
Thank you for coming here too. We really appreciate it.
So this is the official opening, but you've been operating in this building for a few months now, haven't you?
We have. We actually we have been in Letterkenny since 2014.
Okay, cool.
It actually feels a wee bit surreal because it feels like yesterday when we will welcome visitors into Port House at that stage when 5 trainees, adults with an intellectual disability, were referred to our services. Port House was good in the sense that we had small numbers that served its purpose, but as our numbers grew And obviously we wanted to provide more activities, more opportunities for our client group. We needed to identify bigger premises, and we have been so fortunate to identify and refurbish this building. So we moved in here just before Christmas time, and today is our grand opening.
And it is a wonderful building, isn't it? Even from the front door right into this space. So what kind of rooms are available here? Are we sitting in, the centre of the centre, or what's going on?
Okay. Before we renovated it, there was 2 units, which obviously we worked very closely with the architect in terms of the layout design, in terms of what activities, what programmes we could provide to our trainees. In terms of the layout, the area we're in here is our kitchen. It's our real hub area in terms of catering training opportunities that we provide. There is a breakout area here as well. As you progress through the building, we do have a number of training rooms. We have an IT suite. We have a sensory room as well. We have a sports and leisure room as well for our trainees then to relax into. So what is really wonderful about the building is everything is here within, the square footage of the building, and its proximity is very central in Letterkenny, which will give the organisation the opportunity to grow and build and provide additional activities and opportunities to our clients.
And there's a consistency of the service, isn't it? It's not a half an hour here or there, 2 or 3 days a month, like you hear Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. And what's the demographic of your trainees?
Okay. In terms of the organisation itself, now we have been operating in County Donegal for quite a while in terms of the range of programmes that we do deliver. We currently have 56 young adults in our services. Their ages would range between 18 and 48, who would avail of their own person-centred HSE-funded programmes, either on a part-time or a full-time basis from Monday to Friday.
And how do people engage with it? Are they, how do people, so you say you've got 56 at the moment. Are you at capacity? Are you always inviting new people to come? How do people come to know and avail of the services here?
Okay. We work very closely with HSE. So if you can imagine, in terms of any young adult with an intellectual disability, when they're referred to the organisation, their needs are assessed and a suitable training programme and vocational path is mapped out through a person-centred planning approach with community inclusion at the fore. So each of our young individuals, in terms of their programmes, we work very closely with their trainees, identifying their goals, their aspirations, their wishes, and based on their ability. They work very closely with their assigned key worker in terms of access and opportunities and activities in the local community.
And how important then is it to give people opportunities, outside of this? That, in other words, you can avail of your training, you can use your skills that you learn, or maybe the confidence that you acquire, sort of, in the wild, so to speak, in local community groups or businesses or what have you. Is there good cooperation in the wider community with your trainees?
Wonderful inclusion, and I know Sheamus will probably want to speak about that, but disability awareness and inclusion is constantly supported by Donegal Horizons. And I suppose when you think of it as well, it's really the benefits to the actual community in terms of where our centres are based. We do have a base in Carndonagh, which services the Inishowen Peninsula area, and now here in Letterkenny Grand Central. So in terms of where our trainees reside, it's the opportunities that the community obviously benefit from the real meaningful contribution that our trainees make in their own local community.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously you're based in Letterkenny, but do you have trainees coming from outside of the immediate catchment?
It's the greater Letterkenny area where our catchment area is in Letterkenny.
Yeah.
We do, I think the furthest away is probably Castlefin, Sheamus. I'm trying to think of the geographical
it's
area.
It's all about the practicalities, I suppose. And then, of course, Karen Donna servicing much of it is shown.
Yeah.
I mean, I want you to actually bed in here, right? But is this a project that can grow even further? Maybe, or maybe there's you don't want to duplicate services in certain areas, but, you know, where would you love to go next?
Literally what we'd like to do now that we've moved into this building here, we want to grow in the range of activities.
Now, who left their phone on? Sorry, I'm only joking. It's fine. We play fast and loose here. It's okay. And sorry, go on. What are you going to say?
Okay. In terms of where we are in Letterkenny, what is so wonderful about this building is that because of the size of the building, the opportunities, the activities for our trainees and our staff team can grow. So in terms of the organisation, we will have the opportunity now to continue to grow and offer more activities and more opportunities for our client group.
So is there scope then maybe for people from, you know, I don't know in terms of travel or transport, right? I don't know if that would be provided by the likes of yourselves or if there's a role within the HSE or what have you. But is that an area potentially that could make it more accessible for people outside of the Letterkenny catchment, the greater Letterkenny area?
Absolutely, and funny you say that there. In terms of the holistic development, as it were, of any of our trainees that are referred to our services, travel training is one of the key topics that we do deliver. Because if you can imagine, for the likes of yourself, being able to get out and about is quite simplistic. But for somebody with an intellectual disability, that life skill has never been provided before. So in terms of travel training, how to utilise public transport, you know, in terms of crossing the road, who to contact in the case of emergency.
True freedom, you know, I mean, and that really expands as well, doesn't it?
It really does,
All right, stay where you are. Seamus Freel is a senior co-worker at Donegal Horizons. Good to see you again, Seamus. How are you keeping?
All good. Thanks for having us.
Last time I was speaking to you, you were getting ready to get stripped to the waist and dance around the stage of the Mount Errigal. Or were you going to get stripped to the waist? I can't quite remember.
I didn't get stripped, no, but it was an eventful night.
That was, by the way, in case you might remember, it was a couple of months ago, I think now, we had Sheamus and a few other participants in Stars in Their Eyes lip sync battle. A huge success. Was it good fun too, I'd imagine?
Massive success. It was an association with Northwest 10K, and we just wanted to do a big event for our guys to showcase their abilities and just have a bit of fun at the same time, and they definitely did do that there.
And, you know, I focused a little bit with Anne about sort of, you know, working in the community or business, you know, working opportunities in business and what have you. But it's multifaceted. It is the getting up on stage and the performing stuff as well. There's a strong connection with local sports as well, which is really good, I think.
Yeah, we're massively involved in some of the places around here. Like Finn Harps, for instance, I got in contact with them maybe about 2 years ago, and I said, you know, there's probably not enough out there for people with disabilities, and especially adults. There's a lot of inclusion now on underage, but not so much in adulthood. And we came up with a plan then that we would go together, and we done a camp together, and it was hugely successful. And then I also contacted the FAI, and now we are the biggest in Ireland for disability service splits, which we're having another one now on Tuesday. We are the biggest, probably by double, in Ireland. On that there, the last splits we had was, I think there was about 165 participants. So it's massive to be involved in the likes of the FAI and Finn Harps, and we're also involved with Donegal GAA too, and we've done a massive camp last summer, and we're hoping to do the same this summer again.
Yeah, well, I think there's great advantages in those sporting organisations and any organisations actually being involved, because it would be very easy to approach this and think that, you know, it's they that are doing, you know, not a favour, but that are. Yeah. But I mean, there's a great benefit to any organisation, any group, any sporting body to, you know, work with different people.
Of course, you know? And it's been hugely successful for the clubs that have been involved with us. And you know, we're not just doing it for our trainees, we're doing it for all disability services, adult services in and around. We have ones coming from Tubbergadore, Ballyshannon, all them centres up around there still coming to Letterkenny for our blitzes and our camps. And Letterkenny Rovers, we actually work with Letterkenny Rovers too, and they give us the pitch and all that there for free of charge.
Fantastic stuff. A couple of special guests today, of course. We're here. We're special, right?
Of course.
Who else?
Well, Sean Patton is coming.
Well, he's been named.
Yeah.
Are you sure he's not going to send a sub?
Well, hopefully.
He's been doing that a bit. He's been doing that a bit lately, hasn't he?
Kieran Thompson's coming. Jodie McFaden's coming from the ladies team, and Emer or Freel, she's coming too.
I hope Sean's coming after 12. Anne, talk to me about the official opening.
Okay, in terms of the official opening, basically what we're hoping today is, as Sheamus says, we do have a number of very special guests, including yourselves here as well. Today really is an opportunity in terms of all, as you said earlier, everyone is welcome to drop in, view the premises, see what we do have to offer in terms of the range of programs that we do deliver. And it's an opportunity of everybody as well, a chance to network and get to know people as well. Surrounded buildings, the proximity is great as well. It's very, very central to different businesses, different organisations in the town. So hopefully today should be a nice day.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons why I thought it important we come down here as well is because it's very important for people to know what's going on in the community, what is happening, that this wonderful building has been repurposed the way it has been, that it, you know, works with so many younger people not so young as well, and is so integrated to and continue to build that integration into the business world, into the community world, of course, into the sporting world. You know, it's fantastic, the stuff that goes on. Sheamus, what's your day-to-day stuff as a senior worker here? Because it is 5 days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 5 days, and we have a timetable which is up on the wall there. We kind of do different activities every day. We would go through different classes, like we could do cooking, we do walking club, we do sports, we do life skills. Everything kind of comes in under the umbrella, and if any trainee would like to kind of broaden our horizons a wee bit, we're there to help them with that there too.
Brilliant. Now, it's so quiet in here. I'm not used to this here, right? Everyone, you don't have to be so well behaved, okay? This is a happy, busy working place. I want to feel that.
You may regret saying that.
No, I won't regret it. I won't regret it. That's why we're here. I like anything goes with me, right? Okay. That's brilliant. Sheamus, anything else that you want to add? Because, you know, you're here at the coalface as well, and you know, I'm trying to get a dig into it a little bit, but I don't want to miss something, you know. What else do you want to say about?
Well, it's just where we are. We're situated in a great location.
No one told me about that car park there, by the way.
Oh, that's usually full, so
right, okay.
The gym takes over that there.
Good stuff.
But in fairness, we're really involved with the likes of grafters next door to us, and they give us a room there for free of charge and stuff like that there.
Brilliant.
So
well
a lot of business around here already know us, and we try to do community placements in some of the places around here, and we probably would like to do a bit more of that there, and that's where we're going to be going around now over the summer trying to get more placements around Letterkenny.
Yeah, or they can come to you.
Of course,
to this, and you know, I talked about the benefits of it, you know, from a sports club's perspective, but from a business perspective as well. There's great opportunity there. And so it's an open invitation, is it then, between 10 and 12? Sean Patton, Kieran Thompson, who else did you mention was coming down?
Councillor Donald Mandy Kelly.
Donald Mandy Kelly's going to be here. Jodie McFaden, that's the name that escaped me. And there seems to be plenty of tea and coffee and goodies as well. And come down, have a look around. If you're a business owner in the area, maybe you're representing the Letterkenny Chamber and you think you can come in here and explore maybe something with your members, if that's not happening already. Everyone's invited. Is that right, Anne?
Absolutely, yes. Everybody, open house today for everyone.
And how do you fund this amazing work that you do, by the way?
Okay. We are funded by the HSE.
Excellent. Okay. Well done, HSE.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Brilliant. Thanks very much. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Anne?
No, thank you for your time and from the organisation. Great to have you here.
No, it's fantastic to be here. Okay, as you've just heard, Anne Ramsey, co-manager here, reference. We are live from the Donegal Horizons. It's the grand opening. We are at the Grand Central. It's just across from M&S, is it? I can't afford to shop in there. It's M&S, yes. And also up the road from the Radisson Hotel. Right, more guests on the way, but just to catch up on some of your comments coming in so far this morning. Hi, Greg. Just caught up with your show in the early hours as I was business meeting all evening. Thank you. Charles Ward's proposals of replacing a mica house without demolishing the existing one first could be fraught with problems and taken advantage of. When I started off in construction over 40 years ago, we were building a lot of council houses on people's own land. To qualify, the house these people lived in had to be condemned by the council and supposedly demolished when they moved into the new one. However, on moving into the new house, the old one was subsequently refurbished and other family relatives moved into it. A few years later, they qualified for a council house too. I get where you're coming from, but it is a proposal from Charles Ward. It's a proposal from the entire movement, and it has progressed as a recommendation from the Housing Minister, which is good news. It's the qualifying criteria is going to be incredibly tight. They made very clear to use specific language in that it will be in very rare occasions. No follow-up studies or statistics collected to why non-resident fathers do not see children, says a listener. No statistics or studies on parental alienation, often a cause on this. No statistics or studies on domestic abuse against men since 2005. Piers Doherty asked questions on this in 2015, and no major studies on suicide and why 4 times as many men die this way. Do we see a pattern of men and fathers do not matter? A caller says the RTE Investigates programme on last night was a horror show. Well, sorry, a horror story, they say. But sad thing is that it's happening to poor, civil, elderly people. My heart went out to them, and it's just absolutely heartbreaking. The RTE Investigates programme says another last night about 2 nursing homes in Ireland, and their treatment of the elderly was very distressing. You could not watch it without crying. And I heard clips of an older gentleman who needed assistance, let me say, in the middle of the night, calling out and how that must have felt when those calls went unanswered. A proud man, I'm sure he was as well, but let down by that institution. On graffiti around Letterkenny, those slogans are criminal damage. How is it happening in Letterkenny in view of high volume of Gardaí on the beat in our big town? Well, listen, the tagging or graffiti artists often know what they are doing and how to avoid... It didn't take long. Look, it's spray paint writing. It's not going to take very long, is it? Another caller then says, really, are we worried about our chances in the tidy towns while innocent people are being murdered by Israel? Well, that's it, you see. That's why the conversation is such a divisive one. 086 60 25,000, that's the WhatsApp and text number if you wish to give us a contact that way. If you want to call us, it's 07491 25,000, or you can email comments at highlandradio.com. We'll have more guests on the 9 till noon show after we take a quick break.
Planning holidays, creating memories. Atlantic Travel on Oliver Plunkett Road, Letterkenny, bring you today's 9 till noon show. See atlantictravel.ie.
Summer is sizzling, and so is the Easy Living Furniture Summer Sale, which has just been extended for a limited time only. Don't miss out on the sale of the season at Easy Living Furniture, Crescent Link Retail Park, Derry, or shop online at easylivingfurniture.co.uk.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, Easy Living has it all. Easy Living Furniture, luxury furnishings, affordable luxury.
It's the Right Price Tiles wood flooring and bathware 70% off sale. Get up to 70% off all your purchases. Up to 70% off all tiles, all wood flooring, all bathware. Everything's reduced in store. The 70% off sale at Right Price Tiles, wood flooring and bathware. Stores nationwide. Sale extended until Sunday.
Discover a new way to cook outdoors with the Ninja Wood-Fire Electric Barbecue Grill, now at Ben Sweeney Euronics. It's a grill, smoker and air fryer all in one, with 7 cooking functions, no charcoal, gas or flames needed. Wood fire technology delivers real smoky flavour anywhere, in the garden, patio or in the campsite. Weather resistant and ready year round. Get the Ninja Wood Fire Electric Barbecue Grill at Ben Sweeney Euronics, Letterkenny and Dunlow.
Are you worried about trees on your property? Northwest Forestry Services Ballybuffet are fully insured and have over 40 years experience in dangerous tree removal, tree felling, surgery and stump grinding. For peace of mind, call Northwest Forest Services Ballybuffet for a no obligation quotation on 913233.
This is Anne Doyle with an urgent appeal for UNICEF. As traumatised children in Gaza stare down the barrels of weapons, another threat looms. Famine is hurtling towards them. UNICEF is rushing emergency aid to children and babies in Gaza. Please visit unicef.ie and help save a child's life. Thank you.
Hello everybody, it's Jerry Guthrie here. Just dropping in to remind you about our big weekend of dancing this weekend at the Clanry Hotel in Letterkenny. On Friday night, our special guests will be Michael English and his band, Damien Davis and Jack Kyo. And on Saturday night, we'll be joined by David James and his band and Trevor Moyles. Tickets are available at the door. We'll see you at the Clanry this weekend.
Okay, you're very welcome back to Thursday's 9 till noon show. I'm joined on the telephone line now by Kathy. Kathy, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Right. Yes, Kathy, can you hear me okay?
I can, yeah.
Kathy, tell us your story, and it centres on your daughter who has severe dyslexia, and I think you feel that you've been let down by the system.
Yeah, because she was lost through the system over the years, and when it was finally picked up, she was an adult at this stage, but still been given the same standardised test as a 12, 13-year-old, which obviously, you know, at an adult, you will pass, she just about passed it, and but there's still, that's the only test that's considered. They won't consider a private HSE psychologist test, which showed a more accurate result and was more age appropriate for her. And 3 times she applied and got denied just days before the exams, which is very stressful. You know, they're stressful enough times without putting that added stress on them.
And what impact has...
It needs to be changed. I know the whole system is under review at the minute, but the government won't put a review date on it. It's under review for this reason, because the test is just a standardised test regardless what age you are.
Yeah, so as an 18-year-old, she did a test that was designed for 12-year-olds. It's not very nuanced, is it?
No. And like now she has to go into her exams with, what I was told was like, it's, people were complaining because it's not fair that they would be going into an exam with an advantage, but they're now going into an exam with a disadvantage of something like 7%, that they will lose automatically because of dyslexia through spelling and grammar.
Now, obviously, this is having an impact on her, and we'll focus on that more in a little bit. But I mean, as parents, or as a parent, you know, you're doing everything you can through grinds or what have you, and the expense of all of that to give her the best opportunities. So it affects not just sort of the emotions as well. I mean, you're trying your best to do the best for her.
Yeah. I mean, it's too late for her now, but I just wanted to highlight this for other children in the future. You know, that things have to change, and it's not fair to put that pressure on them. If children are looking for help, and if they're continuously looking for help, they should be given it. There shouldn't be barriers put up in place for them.
So just to be clear, I mean, you were seeking this test since when, and what reasons were you being given for her not getting this test?
Well, initially, when she was at primary school, we were just told the resources weren't there to fund the test, and even if we funded it ourselves, they wouldn't have the resources in place to help her. Then when she did go to secondary school, they did realise that she had issues, and they did take her out and help her, but still no test. And then COVID hit, and everything was in the back burner with COVID. A lot of people fell through the cracks, and it wasn't picked up again then until 5th year, because she did transition year. And so 5th year then, it was picked up, and the school, in fairness, the school was very good, and they gave her a lot of help. But we still just about passed this test at 18 years old, which denied her the help that she needed in the actual exams. She got all the help she needed in the school. The school were fantastic. But what she needed in the actual exams, she couldn't get.
Yeah, and that means she heads into those exams without that support on the day. More stressed, as you said already, stressful enough time without this further anxiety.
Yeah, and it's just, I know it's too late for her now, but I just wanted to highlight this for other people in the same, and we're not the only ones in this position, there's a lot more. And it's just that for people to fight, and we need to keep fighting to get this review pushed through the government, that for them to put an actual date on it, because they're not putting a date on it.
All right, Kathy, listen, best of luck in difficult circumstances to your daughter. Thank you very much for your time. Evelyn is also discussing this topic with me. Evelyn, what's your input? Good morning to you, by the way.
My input would be, I found the education system very supportive. I did fight for it at the start, but I knew from a young age that she was dyslexic. I went to Smart Education, that only cost like 30 or 40 euro to get her assessed at the time, where I did change her school, where I found a school that would give the resource to her with this private dyslexic assessment until she got the psychological one. And yes, COVID, it did slow it down, but they didn't slow her down. They did continue to, support her. Now, there was a lot of tears. It might have took an hour and a half some nights with, with homework. Maybe the next morning we'd had to get up a bit earlier. I do think parents, it can't just be all on the teachers or the state when it comes to educating your kids. We have to put that input also in, which also I do think my other son, he's dyslexic, so it's become easier.
I think it can be hit and miss too, though, Evelyn, that in terms of where you are, who you engage with, it's...
well, I went through different schools to see where I could get the resource from, and that's how I picked the school. Also, the secondary school, so she got her laptop, and but no, she's obviously kind of not wanting to take the resource now because she's 13, 14, and it's embarrassing. But in that, as a general, I found her quite supportive.
Okay, listen, Evelyn, thank you very much for that. It's good to hear all sides, and I do appreciate your time. Take care, Evelyn. We're also joined...
No worries.
No, thanks, Evelyn. We're also joined on the programme by Mary T. Sweeney. Mary T., good morning to you. What's your take on this?
Greg, I speak of it not just from a political point of view, from a personal point of view as well, which is why I responded on the post this morning.
Appreciate it.
And I'm delighted to hear any mother getting support on the Highland Radio about the parents having to spend 200 euros getting additional supports after school for their child to try and maintain and get through the school system. And I know I've come across so many parents in that position, but the whole system that we have in place, it shouldn't be sporadic, it shouldn't be regional, it shouldn't be where you live, it should be child-centred about the educational needs of each individual child.
And where do you think that drive needs to come from? Is it from the schools? I mean, they're the ever-presence all over the place, aren't they? Is it principals and teachers that maybe have a role here?
There is an act come back where they identify the need for equality, educational equality for across and inclusion across the system, because now with the change in vocabulary in relation to what's considered a neurodivergent condition, there's no one size fits all, and many of these conditions are comorbid. And when the most, after the parent, the most important person is a primary school teacher, and they're not being listened to because the resources are not being put in place for them to access immediately when they identify a need. And when I did teacher training, and I'm sure it doesn't change since, the formative years were not to 7, Greg.
Yeah.
And we really need to get back in those formative years and put additional resources in place for the educational needs of our children. I happened to see a programme advertisement on TV within the last 3 days it flashed through my screen. I'm sure some others saw it, and it mentioned briefly about an upcoming interview that over 50% of young people in jails at the moment have dyslexia. Frustration is what I would feel with people that my own family, and with one of my own children wasn't diagnosed till he was 21 in third level. But the work that went into getting him to third level was beyond the natural workload that a parent should have to put up with, because of the lack of support and because of the fact that there's so few NEPS assessments at early intervention.
Yeah, and as you mentioned there too, Mary T.
Sorry,
Mary T. As you mentioned there too, obviously it's about your academic progress, but I mean, it's a hidden disability, can be unseen, but very stressful for obviously the child, how they progress, how they interact, social skills, and what's carried then forward into adulthood. We really need to get a handle on that as soon as possible.
100%. And the people that are not really being listened to, are the parents and the teachers. When I canvassed in an election 5 years ago, whatever it was now, I remember, and I mentioned this a way back, that there were two cases that particularly influenced me and upset me. One was in Milford Mart and one was Carndonagh Mart. And that was each occasion saw fathers crying because their children couldn't get assessments in their schools. Now, there were two specific examples. I have my own family members that have been through the nose trying to get assessment recently. It seems to appear to be a growing problem. We're not doing enough to accommodate that growing problem. The quality of the education is paramount for children between 0 to 7 to get them on a learning pattern that they will work with, whether it's the need of coloured paper, whether they need coloured glasses. I introduced all those into my own family home, which did help alleviate. But even though he was diagnosed, he had slipped through the net at 8 years of age.
Yeah.
It wasn't until he was 21 and he was told he was quite proficiently, he scored very high on the scheme when he went to third level.
Yeah, I get you.
So this should be a marker. Now, I know we brought in that Epson Act to try and identify it. That has not been fully implemented. And, the unfortunate thing about it is that we need the teachers as advocates. They don't need this pressure, but they're the only resource or route that we have, because the Department of Education is not doing enough, and there's not enough financial resources being put into the schools with special needs assistants, with additional supports for the teachers, and you cannot continue to have large classrooms with a high number of children that either have any of the neurodivergent disorders.
Okay, Mary T, thanks for your time this morning.
Fair.
I do appreciate it, Mary T. Thank you very much.
Good luck to all the junior cert and the leaving cert students.
Hear, hear. Thank you so very much, Mary T. Take care. Claire says it's an actual joke. We done a private assessment for dyslexia too, and I need to get assistant technology for secondary school to help with exams. I needed an occupational therapist report for this privately. It was over €650 for the report that was last year. Lucky mine's only in the first year, but I kept having to push and follow up on this so they will receive help for the junior cert. If they know the child is dyslexic, why don't they just give them the support they need is beyond me. Just let them struggling on. This is causing major upset in our kids, damaging their mental health as they think they're too stupid or not good enough at school. Is it any wonder children are dropping out? Disgraceful that we're constantly made to jump through hoops to support our young people who are trying to better themselves by sitting exams. And if you do get help without the reports, you will not be allowed to use it in the state exams. So it's catch 22. That doesn't seem to make sense at all, does it? More comments in relation to that. Right, I'll come back to that in a moment, actually. Oh, yeah, here we go. Having a diagnosis is not a prerequisite to getting an accommodation in the state examinations. I know this is very frustrating for parents, but schools have to follow the very strict criteria laid out by the Department of Education. If a reader or spelling grammar waiver is denied, the pupil's scores simply weren't low enough to qualify. The purpose of accommodation is to level the playing fields, not to provide any advantages. This is definitely, however, much about this system that needs reform and change. For example, we are one of a few European countries that doesn't allow additional time for dyslexic pupils. The parents should take heart that there will be more supports in third level and allowances during exams. But I suppose at that point maybe the situation has been Some might say the damage has been done. Okay, we'll be back with more here live from the beautiful surrounds of Donegal Horizons here in Letterkenny. We're at the grand opening, and the grand opening is at 10. And it runs until 12, so if you are about, please do call in, say hello, see the work that they do, see the wonderful facilities, and meet some of the trainees. Lots of trainees in here this morning as well, which is great to see.
Today's 9 till noon show is brought to you by Atlantic Travel in Letterkenny. From radio waves to ocean waves. Atlantic Travel, your cruise holiday experts. Visit atlantictravel.ie.
The Clonmany Agricultural Show Monster Draw. €100,000 in prizes. First prize a Valtra tractor or Skoda Kodiaq car. Second prize a Can-Am Outlander 500cc quad or €10,000. Plus 8 other cash prizes. Tickets are available now online at clonmanyshow.com or from any committee member. This would be a great Father's Day gift.
Just wanted to sort me and my friends out for a party. I only owed a few quid at first.
I have to look after my granddaughter. What will happen if I don't pay?
Thought I'd be safe at home, but they found out where I live. Drug-related intimidation and violence can happen to anyone. There is help available. Go to driveproject.ie to find safe and confidential services and supports in your local area. Supported by the Government of Ireland.
Luxury is not merely seen or heard or even touched. True luxury is experienced. It lies in the minute details that elevate the ordinary into the extraordinary. It's quiet spoken, but leaves a lasting impression. You know it when you feel it. Luxury begins with L. Lexus. Experience amazing. Discover the all-electrified range at Lexus Letterkenny.
If you're getting new furniture or it's time for a change, pay a visit to McGinley's Furniture in Letterkenny. There you'll find a selection of suites, beds and bedroom furniture, dining room and occasional furniture. You'll be amazed by the selection and pleasantly surprised by the prices. At McGinley's Furniture, Portlink Business Park, Port Road, Letterkenny. And online at mcginleysfurniture.com.
Highland Radio weather updates with McElhenny's. Find all your summer essentials from fashion and accessories to beauty and homeware at McElhenny's. Explore more in-store or shop online at mcelhennys.com today.
Okie doke, let's have a look at that weather forecast. Looking out the window here at Horizons, it is nice enough. I wouldn't be in the bikini or nothing, but still not too bad. Today there'll be a mix of sunny spells and scattered showers, with the showers becoming more isolated this afternoon. Temperatures of 12 to 15 degrees in light to moderate westerly winds. Further scattered showers developing earlier on tonight, but they will quickly clear to isolated showers and clear spells. Lows of 5 to 7 degrees. Feels chilly at night for June, doesn't it? Perhaps, maybe things might be improving a little next week. Let's not get too excited, but who is to say? In relation to graffiti supporting the people of Gaza that's popping up around Letterkenny at the moment, lots of you messaging in relation to that. A caller says, really, are we worried about our chances in the tidy towns while innocent people are being murdered by Israel? But another, these slogans are criminal damage. How is it happening in Letterkenny? I think I may have read both of those a little earlier on. In relation to the RTE Investigates show on the care homes, a caller says the people in charge of these care homes should be jailed for cruelty that would ensure it never happens again. We are broadcasting, as I mentioned, live from Horizons, watching online from Dublin. Good morning to you for the grand opening of Donegal Horizons. Donegal Horizons is a fantastic centre. It's a fantastic centre and great to see it getting the spotlight they deserve. My brother joined last summer and his progression over the last 12 months has been amazing. Very proud of Joey and all the service users there indeed. And it's great to be here highlighting what they're doing. And there's a nice buzz here now. Don't forget we are here for the grand opening. We're located at the Grand Central in Letterkenny. There's refreshments and special guests too on the day. The launch taking place at 10 and running to 12 noon. So if you're in and around Letterkenny, please call in, say hello, meet the wonderful people working here. And also the trainees. Okay, back after the news and obituary notices.
Planning holidays, creating memories. Atlantic Travel on Oliver Plunkett Road, Letterkenny, bring you today's 9 till noon show. See atlantictravel.ie.
Every decision, moment, and experience has shaped who I am today. I still live at home with the support of a wonderful team who provide home care with respect for who I am, empowering me to live my life my way.
Your life, your way. Visit dovida.ie.
Irish strawberry season is here. Let the fun begin. Pick up a punnet of Keeling's Irish strawberries in store today. Tasty, sweet, feel-good fruit. Fresh from our farm. Love that Keeling's feeling.
Who's watching your home while you're asleep, at work, or on holiday? With the Sheridan Security Alarm System, you can be assured of round-the-clock monitoring. Our central monitoring station is on duty 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, monitoring homes and businesses in the northwest for intruder, fire, panic, and medical signals, giving you the peace of mind you deserve. Sheridan Security Systems, Bonagee, Letterkenny, protecting what you value most. Call us for a free quotation on 9126. 025.
Get your home and garden summer ready with Watson Hire in Letterkenny. From lawnmowers to trimmers and compost to lawnmowers, they have everything you need to tidy, clean and green your space. If you're painting, inside or out, choose the best value paint in Donegal from top names like Fleetwood and Johnson's. Watson Hire, open 6 days a week at Lisnen and Letterkenny, with great deals to have your home and garden looking their best. See watsonhire.ie. Rossview Interiors in Letterkenny are delighted to offer a limited quantity of sofas just in at unbelievable knockdown prices, with suites reduced from €2,050 to €1,250 and corner suites from just €1,350. There's also storage beds down from €650 to €450 and huge savings on a selected range of dining sets. So make your way to Rossview Interiors, Rossview Business Park, Letterkenny, just off the Polestar roundabout, as these bargains won't last.
Live, on air, online and on the Highland Radio app. This is Highland Radio News.
Good morning, it's Donna Marie Doherty with the news at 10 o'clock. It's been confirmed to a Donegal deputy by the HSE that the proposal to develop a surgical hub in the northwest has now been considered by the HSE board and was approved at its meeting last week. It comes after 171 doctors from Donegal demanded an urgent meeting with the Minister for Health over the exclusion of Letterkenny from the surgical hub plan. It's understood the hub's to be located in Sligo. Deputy Patrick McLaughlin says the need for this meeting has become more urgent than ever. The HSE expect to submit the proposal to the Department of Health shortly over the coming week. Deputy McLaughlin says it's clear Donegal's not being listened to.
It's clear that we haven't been listened to, the public representatives in Donegal, but more importantly now 171 doctors are not being listened to. So this meeting that they have requested with the Minister for Health is now absolutely urgent. We cannot have a situation where the Department of Health sign off on this without looking at the case that's been made for Letterkenny, the overwhelming case being made for a surgical hub for Letterkenny. So it's now an urgent matter. Unfortunately, we are not being listened to in Donegal, and we need the Minister to intervene immediately.
17 Donegal projects have been allocated a total of €1.3 million under the 2025 Community Recognition Fund. The largest allocation for a Donegal project went to Letterkenny Youth and Community Centre, with almost €150,000 for the upgrade of its existing building on Lower Main Street. This is followed by Carrick Regeneration Group, who've been awarded €130,000 to buy a site in the village to use as a civic space, and the awarding of €125,000 to Donegal County Council for the development of a walkway in Milford at the Mulroy Woods Hotel. The list of full awardees can be seen on our website highlandradio.com. Social housing tenants are living in limbo because there's no funding to carry out widespread testing for defective concrete. That's according to Councillor Brian Carr, who says there's some people who are looking to buy their home from the council and cannot do so until the testing's been carried out. He was told that between 8 and 10 houses have been tested over the past 3 months.
There's been very few houses tested because of the funding. The council are using their own funds at the moment to try and move things forward. The houses that have been tested lately are houses that may be attached to another house that could be ready for demolition or something like that, but there's no widespread testing, which is the big problem. And housing estates are sitting not knowing whether they have it, whether they don't have it. They're sitting worried about their future, and just everybody's sitting in limbo at the moment.
336 homes, farms and businesses have experienced power loss this morning in Buncrana. The fault was reported just before 7:30 this morning and is hoped to be resolved by 2:30 in the afternoon. Initial estimations showed a restoration time of 8:30. ESB have apologised for the issue and say they're looking to have the repair work complete as quickly as possible. 35 people, including 5 children, have been deported from Ireland to Nigeria. It's the third deportation flight this year. Stephanie Roan has the details.
Gardaí from the National Immigration Bureau carried out an operation yesterday removing individuals from the state. This resulted in 21 men, 9 women and 5 children being put on a chartered flight to Nigeria from Dublin Airport last night. Gardaí say all the children were part of family groups. The Justice Minister said the flight landed safely in Lagos this morning, adding the people on board had received but had not complied with deportation orders. This is the third deportation flight this year, but the first to Nigeria. Last month, 39 people were deported to Georgia, while in February, 32 people were deported also to Georgia.
Efforts to reduce the waiting times for driving tests appear to be working already. The Road Safety Authority introduced new measures last month, including making test times available at weekends and on bank holidays. The RSA says that already since the 31st of May, the average national waiting time for a test has fallen from 22 weeks to 20.6 weeks. It's down from 27 weeks in April. There's calls for HICWA inspections to be overhauled after undercover footage revealed concerns about the care of residents in 2 nursing homes. A programme by RTE Investigates showed multiple examples of care failings and neglect of vulnerable older residents in 2 facilities operated by NH Ireland. New admissions have been suspended at the residence in Portlaoise. The healthcare watchdog HICWA says more investigations will take place at the residence Portlaoise and Benaving Matter in Glasnevin in Dublin. Taking a look now to the weather forecast, it'll be a mix of sunny spells and scattered showers today, with the showers becoming more isolated through the afternoon. Highs of 12 to 15 degrees in light to moderate westerly winds. That's all for now from the news desk. Back with headlines at 11 o'clock. The Obituary notices this Thursday morning, June 5th. The death has occurred of May Bradley, née Gallen of Cashlin, Ballybun, Castlefin. May's remains are reposing at her home from 12 noon today. Rosary each night at 9 o'clock. Funeral leaving her home on Saturday at 1:30 for 2 p.m. Requiem Mass at St Mary's Church, Castlefin, when burial in the adjoining cemetery. Family time from 10 p.m. to 11 a.m. Mass can be streamed live via the parish website. The death has taken place of Patrick Paddy Freel Meenaniller, formerly of Stranacorker, Gweedore. Removal from the Eternal Light Chapel of Rest, Mountain Top, Letterkenny at 12 noon today to his late residence. Wake from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. today and tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Rosary nightly at 8 o'clock. House private on the morning of the funeral. Funeral Mass will take place on Saturday at 12 noon in the Church of the Sacred Heart, Dunlewy. Interment afterwards in Maharagallen Cemetery. The death has taken place of Moira Devine, née McKiernan, 92, Carrickeen Road, Donamana, and formerly of Rian Knockmoyle Oma, reposing at her home today from 12 noon. Funeral leaving her home on Saturday at 10:20 for Requiem Mass in St Mary's Church, Ohabrack at 11 a.m. Interment afterwards in the adjoining cemetery. Family time please from 10 p.m. to 11 a.m. and on the morning of the funeral. The Requiem Mass can be viewed live via the parish YouTube channel. The death has occurred of Michael Duffy, Lenamore, Carrigart. His remains will be reposing at his late residence in Carrigart from 2 p.m. today. A shuttle bus will be running from St John the Baptist Church between 4 p.m. and 9:30. Funeral Mass in St John the Baptist Church, Carrigart on Saturday at 11 o'clock. Burial afterwards in the adjoining graveyard. Mass can be viewed on the Meva Parish Facebook page. Family time please from 10 p.m. to 11 a.m. and on the morning of the funeral. Family flowers only, donations in lieu if desired to Donegal Hospice or Donegal Youth Service, care of any family members or James Harkin Funeral Director. The death has taken place Phelim Doherty, Big John, Greenhill Malin, Phelan's remains will be reposing at his home today from 2 o'clock until 8 o'clock. A shuttle bus will be in operation with parking at Masheffrey's Bridge. Removal from there tomorrow at 2:30, going to St Mary's Church Lag for Requiem Mass at 3 o'clock, followed by burial in the adjoining graveyard. Family time please on the day of the funeral and at all times outside of stated visiting hours. Family flowers only please, donations in lieu if desired, to Irish Cancer Society Cancer Research, care of any family member or Kelly's funeral directors. The death has occurred of Mary Ita Boyle ní O'Donnell of Glen Road Glenties, reposing at her late residence Glen Road Glenties today from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m, rosary at 9 o'clock. Removal tomorrow morning, going to St Connell's Church Glenties for Requiem Mass at 11 o'clock, with interment afterwards in the local cemetery. Funeral Mass will be streamed on churchservices.tv. Family only on the morning of the funeral. Family flowers only please. Donations in lieu if so desired to the Irish Cancer Society, care of any family member. The death has occurred of Susan Hamilton ní Craig Manor Cunningham. Susan's remains are reposing at her daughter Amanda's home in Rossbracken, Letterkenny. House strictly private from 10 p.m. tonight and on the morning of the funeral. Rosaries at 9 o'clock. Removal tomorrow morning at 9:45 to Our Lady of Lourdes Church, Inch Island for Requiem Mass at 11 a.m, followed by interment in the adjoining cemetery. Requiem Mass can be viewed live on the Fawn Parish YouTube channel. The death has taken place of Monsignor William McLaughlin, Father Billy, Ad Fines Terry, Arda Ballyliffin. His remains are reposing at St Mary's Church, Cockhill. All are welcome to pay their respects today from 1 p.m. until 8 p.m. Funeral Mass will take place there at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, followed by burial in the adjoining cemetery. Requiem Mass can be viewed on churchservices.tv. Family flowers only please, donations in lieu if desired to Nazareth House, care of any family member or Kelly's funeral directors. For family information and more details regarding wakes and funerals, please go to highlandradio.com.
Love at first sight is something we see every day at Curry's. From a new fridge that fits your family's needs to a bigger washing machine that gets more done. Once you see it, you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. With a huge range and the latest specs across home appliances, TVs, laptops, phones and more, and with amazing offers in-store and at currys.ie, you know it's meant to be. Curry's, for the tech you love.
Welcome back to the 9 till noon show. We are at Horizons in Letterkenny. It's their grand opening today. They've been on site here in this wonderful facility that you have for the last 3 or 4 months, but today's the official opening, and there's a lovely buzz here around the premises today between trainees and service users and family and dignitaries, and a lovely atmosphere. There's lots of sandwiches and buns and tea and coffee, so if you're in and around Letterkenny, get down here and say hello and see the fantastic facilities that they have here. There are special guests as well, of course, coming up over the next couple of hours. We'll grab them too whilst we're here. Don't worry about that. But it's really to let you know that if you didn't know, that there's a brilliant team here supported by the HSE at Donegal Horizons. They've got an outlet in Carndonagh as well, but they are here at the Grand Central in Letterkenny, which is just up the road from the Radisson, or it's across the road, across the pedestrian crossing from M&S, you know, that area of Letterkenny. But it's a wonderful, wonderful building, I must say. Right, okay, so let's talk to our next guests on the programme. And we'll say good morning to Joey Sweeney, a trainee here at the Donegal Horizons. Joey, it's a bit noisy here. Hopefully you can hear me okay. We spoke to you before. How are you keeping?
Okay, very good.
Last time I spoke to you, you were getting prepared for Stars in Their Eyes lip sync. How did that go for you?
It went down a swell.
Right, okay. Yeah. You were doing two things, weren't you? You were in a boy band and then a solo. Was that right? Am I remembering correctly?
Old time rock and roll.
And One Direction, no?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I thought so. How did it go?
Very good, and I actually won the One Direction one.
Brilliant. All right, well done. Come here. What's it like here at Horizons for you?
Very good. Shimy's very good to me, and all the staff. I had a transfer there a couple of weeks ago from Shimy to Teresa. It didn't go down too well, but I You
had to suck it up, did you? And come here, let me ask you another question. How often are you here?
From Monday to Friday.
Oh, so you come in for the 5 days?
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. One second, Mum. Well,
give me a bit of peace.
I was going to say, Rosemary, we know where he gets his chatting from anyway.
I licked that off the ground. It didn't get it from me anyway.
Come here, what's it like seeing Joey in action, coming in here every day, but also, of course, too, the likes of the Stars on the Rise and all the other stuff he gets up to?
Well, Joey's here a year coming next month, and it's just a total transformation to the fella he was before.
And what kind of stuff does he come back talking about in the evening? What does he enjoy doing here?
He done a work placement on Harley's Farm up in Curralees, and he does the garden centre 2 days a week. They do sports. He does cooking, but he doesn't do any of that at home.
Good man. Well done.
Just different life skills and everything as well.
Yeah.
So.
And making friends.
Making friends, exactly.
You know, making friends.
The social aspect of it is brilliant.
Excellent stuff, yeah, indeed. And we talked earlier on about the tie-ins with the likes of Finn Harps, Donegal GAA, the FEI too. It's great for the trainees to get to work with, sports clubs and sports people as well.
Yeah, they're doing another camp next week, I think, next Tuesday, over in Lakeview. So, yeah, he really enjoys that as well.
And I know you were joking a little earlier, Rosemary, but it's nice for you to have a bit of time to yourself as well too.
I'm not joking at all.
I'm treading softly here.
I was being serious. No.
Joey, talk to me about your time at the garden centre. What do you enjoy about that?
Weeding, cutting the grass, everything.
Could do with you around my house.
Cutting the hedge, brushing up, putting in plants. Every Friday and Saturday, I help a woman behind me here in the garden.
No bother to you. And what sports do you like, Joey?
Basketball, football, cricket.
Everything, really. Go on, Rosemary.
Up Donegal.
Up Donegal. You're not going to get me in any trouble here, are you?
Up Fannet.
Up Fannet, all right. All right, okay, everyone's going to get a mention at this stage. And friends as well, too. You've made some really good friends here, Joey, haven't you?
One of my best friends is there.
What's his
name?
Sean. All right, well, I'll be chatting to Sean later, will I? All right, you have the crack here, too. It's great to come in Monday to Friday. And
I really did like the farm. And
oh, yeah, what did you do up at the farm? That's Harley's farm, isn't it? Or is that part of the same garden centre, no? It's different?
It's up the mountain top.
And what do you do up there? What did you do up there?
Looking after the sheep, putting feed to the cows and
all the good stuff.
And
so you're really outdoors type person, aren't you? Between the gardening and the garden centre and up at the farm with the animals, like you're really outdoors type person.
Yeah.
All right, great stuff. And the transfer's going all right. You're going to stick with the new team, are you?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Well, listen, you can always go back to your old club down the line if things don't work out. All right, listen, thanks very much, Joey. Great to see you again. Congratulations on winning the competition as 1D as well, One Direction.
Yeah.
And Rosemary, great to meet you too.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you as well.
Yeah, great to have you on the show. Thanks so very much
Thank
indeed.
You.
That big round of applause, everyone. I thought they did. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I thought they did really well there, of course. Great to see Joey again, and Rosemary, a very proud parent. And we've got more guests on the way, of course. We are broadcasting live, as you might imagine, from Donegal Horizons. It's their grand reopening, which now pretty much is in full swing. Right, okay. Now we are joined by Breege Gallagher. Hiya, Breege. How are you keeping?
Good, thanks.
It's good to have you with us, Breege. You're a parent of Luke Gallagher, who's also a trainee here at Donegal Horizons. Luke's heading into his late 20s now, 27, is that late 20s?
27, yes.
Okay, it's not mid-20s anymore, late 20s, okay.
27.
He's been here, or sort of with Horizons for a long time now, hasn't he? Talk to me about his journey with Horizons.
One of my favourite mantras, Greg, is it takes a village to raise a child. And really, I think when it comes to special needs, it takes a community. So it's a whole journey to get to where Luke is today. Luke was non-verbal, and we had a difficult start. So he started off in Woodland School, he progressed from Woodland School to St. Bernadette's, and then he progressed to New Horizons. And Donegal Horizons has been a game changer for us, for Luke. He's a different man now. Mm-hmm. Confidence, he's able to conduct conversations and reciprocal conversations, and he's happy and contented. And that's a huge bonus for his family.
Yeah, because it's great for Luke, but any parent knows it's brilliant for the family.
It is, and his brother...
Because you want the best, don't you? You
Yes,
want the absolute
yes.
best for your children.
His brother got married in March, and with Donegal Horizons and his support worker Ellie, we did a little bit of subterfuge. We got him to do a speech, and he produced and got his speech together here, and the day of his brother's wedding, he surprised his brother and his new wife and the whole of the congregation with his speech, and it was absolutely amazing. So, it's things like that he would never have had the confidence to do. And Horizons has helped that and helped the confidence, and he has a great camaraderie and a great... he loves us, the friendships and everything here. There's no problem getting him out in the mornings. It's just he's happy.
Well, obviously you've got your structure at home, and Luke thrives on structure and familiarity, doesn't he? And he gets that here as well, and it's consistent, isn't it? As much as he wants to attend the 5 days, which is really important to his development and progress and maximising his potential.
I think as well, when I say community, it involves everything. Luke comes to Horizons on a bus, and he has the crack with the bus driver and the bus escort. So it's a whole community bringing you to this point. Even like his dad is retired due to ill health, and he could take Luke in effectively every day, but we don't do that because the bus is part of the whole.
That's his independence. Getting under there and under his own steam.
Yes.
And 9 years into, and in fantastic new facilities here now as well, which maybe took a little bit of getting used to, but I suppose there was still a great deal of familiarity about coming here.
Well, there was pushback. The staff would tell that there was pushback. He didn't want to leave Porthouse. He was having none of it. And then the bit of enticement and the bit of work went into it, and he was quite happy in September to move in here. And he's been very, very happy. He loves the place, actually.
We've been talking extensively about what goes on in and around this building. We will more, of course, over the course of the next wee while. But I think you wanted to give special mention to, and you already have to some extent, how he gets here, the team, the bus driver, who's on the bus. That's a really important part of this whole process. It's not just getting here.
Yes, it's a whole team effort, and he does a placement 2 mornings a week in McDonald's, and a big shout out to McDonald's and the staff, to all of them, Diane in particular. They've been just wonderful to him. He puts on his uniform, his baseball hat goes on, and he gets in mode, and he does a lot more cleaning than in McDonald's than he does in his own house. Happy out.
This seems to be a pattern with all teenagers and young adults. They work like the clappers outside the house. They're brilliant at stuff, and you can't get them to do them. I wonder, is Luke weeding at home, or is it not Luke, but
guaranteed.
Of Joey? Sorry, I beg your pardon. Owen McDonald's with me as well. He's a parent of Kieran McDonald, who's a trainee in the Carndonagh Centre and a board member of Donegal Horizons. Owen, so lots of interest with what's going on here today.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, talk to me about the Carndonagh Centre. I know we're here to launch this, but obviously it's servicing Carndonagh and Inishowen. Very, very valuable service up there as well.
Yes, yeah. Well, the Carndonagh Centre opened in 2018. It had previously been in Buncrana for many years. Kieran actually joined Donegal, or New Horizons as it was then, from school. Now Kieran's 38 now, so I mean, apart from 1 year with National Learning Network, he's been with Donegal Horizons. They have a programme now whereby he's working with them through his life, and they look after his placements, and he goes into them as well too, a couple of days a week.
Well, he's got the record for placements and jobs at the moment, hasn't he? He's a busy boy, Kieran.
He is. He has 3 placements.
Busy man.
Man. Well, exactly. Yeah. He was headhunted for a job out in Nancy's Barn with Kieran Dewey. Then he went on, and then he's been working for many years in Simpsons. He's a placement there as well too, where Maria and Liam look after him very well. And then on a Friday, then he's with He's with Jerry in Simpsons, or in Super Value in Carndona as well.
Yeah, but he's always able to progress, isn't he, and follow his passions, be it, working with the public, cooking, whatever he wants to do. He seems to be supported in that.
Well, exactly, yes. And you find that Donegal Horizons are always looking for a way to find ways that people, that they want to do it and that suit them. And he has done so many different things down the years with them, and it's all been progressive. But, as was said earlier, what the most important thing is that Kieran is a happy man all the time.
And independent. He has his element of independence.
Yes, he has done independent travel. Like, he would travel to Letterkenny on his own on the bus. He has gone to Strabane on the bus with the change in Derry. Like, he has done, and that's through an independent travel course that Donegal and New Horizons Partnership have developed.
All right, okay, and there is some distance between the two centres, but there is opportunities, I presume, over the summer where trainees from both centres can get together and do stuff together.
Yeah, they meet quite regularly. Like, they would work both ways. If there was an event on in Carndona, they would come up, and vice versa. And then they do sporting things as well together as well too.
Yeah, it's fantastic what we see, and we wouldn't like to imagine, if facilities like this weren't here, because what would be there to support?
It is so different, Greg. It is so different from what it was. I remember growing up. I grew up in Clonus actually, and I remember there was a one Down syndrome lad that we all knew, and he was the exception. You didn't know anybody else with a disability.
They were invisible.
They were invisible, and that is what. And I think in Carndona in particular now, I have found that the organisation is integrated so much into the town now. That they are constantly involved with different things, with different businesses and different organisations. Spriega Sport, for instance, as well.
Yeah, and just mention, as we did with Joey there, Harley's Farm working with Horizons. I want to mention that because it's really quite significant. Simpson's Bar, of course, working with Horizons. Nancy's Barn, you mentioned, and others. It's Super Value too in Carndona, right? It's very important that these businesses get the support they deserve in supporting their communities, because sometimes 100%. That's a little bit lost, and they should be supported for what they're doing.
100%.
Okay. Right, brilliant stuff. Thanks, Owen. Say hi to Kieran for us, and thank you, Breed. Are you also a bus escort?
Yes.
And who do you work with? Like, is it with Horizons or?
No,
that gives you a real insight then to the importance of that for your.
It's all a team. It's all a teamwork.
All right, brilliant stuff. Listen, both of you, thank you very, very much indeed. Round of applause, everybody. Wasn't too hard, was it? Okay, listen, thanks very much indeed, Breach. Thanks very much, Owen. We've got more brilliant guests to meet here on the programme today, but we do have to take a short break. Stay where you are. We'll be right back.
It's time for Vision Ireland Bingo on Highland Radio.
It's Thursday, the 5th of June. Jackpot Day. You're playing for the jackpot prize of €6,600 on the pink sheet. The reference number is S14. It's game number 23. The jackpot number is 24. This number can come out in any position from the next 10 numbers drawn. And now, here are your daily numbers. 32, 20, 66, 14, 61, 26, 76, 8, 49, and finally 45. Phone your claim to 9104833 before midnight, leaving your name, contact number and the name of the shop where you purchased your book, and we'll call you back the next working day. Get all your Vision Ireland bingo information at highlandradio.com.
Make real summer savings at Super Value. Like Super Value fresh Irish pork loin with Alabama rub, half price. Signature taste breakfast meats and juices, 3 for €6. Hurry, our Italian wine event ends this week. And scan your Real Rewards card or app and get Comfort Fabric Conditioner 80 wash for €5. Make real summer savings at Super Value. Enjoy alcohol responsibly. DRS applies.
Brian McCormick Sports. New Hoka trainers in-store and online. Try the new Clifton 10, even softer as you take every stride. New range of colours for men and women. Different widths to suit your feet. Bondi 9. New colours for men and women. Take the Hoka Challenge and see what fits you best. If you're road running or walking, maximise your comfort and support at Brian McCormick Sports, Main Street, Letterkenny.
Meet the refreshed Volvo XC60 Hybrid, an electric SUV with a backup plan. Its electric range of up to 80 kilometers means you can do the daily commute emission-free. Then switch to the petrol engine for those weekend road trips without limits. Book your test drive at volvocars.ie and be the first to experience the refreshed XC60. Or explore all the other fully electric and plug-in hybrid cars available at McGinley Motors. Volvo Cars for life.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why.
Have you got your Euro Millions ticket yet? Play responsibly in-store, in-app or at lottery.ie. The National Lottery. It could be you.
Today's 9 till noon show is brought to you by Atlantic Travel in Letterkenny. From radio waves to ocean waves. Atlantic Travel, your cruise holiday experts. Visit atlantictravel.ie.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook and at highlandradio.com.
Planning holidays, creating memories. Atlantic Travel on Oliver Plunkett Road, Letterkenny bring you today's 9 till noon show. See atlantictravel.ie.
Don't miss the 23rd Annual Vintage Show this Sunday at the Carrickfield, Moville. All the usual attractions, cars, tractors and steam engines, plus craft tent, trade stands, wacky lawnmower racing and the hilarious potgene makers. Plus Ireland's top children's entertainer, Billy Bubbles. Lots to see and do with threshing demo, fun fair, cash prize competitions and lots more. A fun day for all the family. This Sunday at the Carrickfield, Moville.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, easy living has it all.
Summer is sizzling, and so is the Easy Living Furniture Summer Sale, which has just been extended for a limited time only. Don't miss out on the sale of the season at Easy Living Furniture, Crescent Link Retail Park, Derry, or shop online at easylivingfurniture.co.uk.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, easy living has it all.
Easy Living Furniture, luxury furnishings, affordable luxury.
TFI Local Link offers frequent, affordable and sustainable bus services, keeping rural communities in Ireland connected. Save up to 30% on fares when you use your TFI Leap card on eligible TFI Local Link services. For route and timetable information, visit transportforireland.ie.
You know that guy I've been seeing?
Yeah?
Turns out my sister's been seeing him too.
Oh, really?
And I heard he's been seeing Siobhan at number 56. And Declan.
Your brother?
Yep.
Specsavers opticians and audiologists own their stores, so your hair is their business, which can make them rather popular.
I've got something to tell you. I've got half an hour with him this afternoon.
Specsavers. Your care is our business.
Attention Donegal, Derry and Tyrone. PD Bathrooms and Tiles are proud to unveil our newest and most stunning showroom in Lisfannon Business Park, Buncrana. Located right opposite the Northwest Golf Course, we offer unbeatable quality and incredible value. For 30 years, we've been the experts in total refits, stocking and serving as the sole agent for many top brands. Visit us today and transform your space with the finest bathroom and tile solutions. Telephone 93 95 884. PD Bathrooms and Tiles, where excellence meets value. Lisfannon Business Park, Buncrana, F93H10F.
You're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show here on Highland Radio. We're broadcasting from a buzzing Donegal Horizons here in Letterkenny. They're opening doors and opening minds. It's the grand opening of this beautiful premises. It's been here for a few months now, but it's wonderful to be here, and it's wonderful to see so many people here, service users, their families, staff, dignitaries, and just members of the public. I'll see a few sporting heads knocking about too, so we'll get some chats with them a little later on. The official opening is going to be taking place. Is it happened yet, Caroline? No? The official opening? Has it actually happened yet? No? The official ribbon cutting, is that happening today? It has happened. 11. All right, okay. So get down for that if you wish. There's refreshments here as well. Okay, lads, hopefully you can hear me okay. I want to say hello first to Councillor Donald Mandy Kelly. You've been involved with Donegal Horizons now for a number of years. Talk to me about that, Donald.
Yeah, Greg, listen, of course, it's fantastic to be here this morning. I suppose my first involvement with Donegal Horizons was back to probably 2020 when I first came onto the council, and I was lucky enough to be elected mayor in 2021 through to 2022 of Letterkenny Milford Municipal District, and I suppose that's when I really got involved with Donegal Horizons then, and you know, Sheamus there and the team had reached out to me on different occasions for funding opportunities, and particularly in the last premises they're running. I suppose from that on, when I first went to visit the premises, which was over at the station roundabout that time, if my memory serves me right, and you know, it was like I remember walking in, and the only way I could describe it was like one big family, and once you were there, you got sucked in, if you like, and from that on, you know, you grew a bond and you grew a friendship with Donegal Horizons, and you know, that's all down to the team, the committee involved, and each and every individual that's involved in Donegal Horizons. They're a fantastic group of people.
Yeah. And a lot of the work, you know, goes under the radar, but not for those who know about it or who use the services or their families that do. They're acutely aware of how important the likes of Horizons are, because I think too, with people with additional needs, we've often talked about this cliff edge at 18, you know, that there can be lots of supports, but then what happens at 18? And you've got facilities like this and others around the county that sort of step in at that point. And we've got people here that have been with Horizons for, you know, 10, 20 years or 18 years, I think was the maximum I heard.
That's right, Greg. And listen, that shows, you know, how important this facility is, how important Donegal Horizons is to so many families. And, you know, we heard speakers there, and I was listening to the show coming on the road as well. And you know, it's all good stories that you hear, you know, and it's all positive, and, you know, that's fantastic. And, you know, the work that goes on here, it's absolutely second to none. The people that's here, they're second to none. And, you know, long may it continue, because I can't give them enough credit, because I think it's absolutely fantastic. The opportunities, the training, you know, the activities, and, you know, it's just, it's brilliant. And, you know, we heard Joey there talk as well about Harley's Farm on the mountain top. And I was there at the opening of it as well, and you know, it's fantastic, the partnership between each body, where these, you know, each individual can go up there and you know, have a day on the farm. And you know, I'm a farmer myself, and I suppose in the political world it can be hectic times, and you know, there's nothing better than getting out onto the field, you know, feeding a log of sheep or a log of cows, and you know, having that engagement.
Well, it sounds like the frying pan into the fire to me, but yeah, I suppose each to their own. Yeah,
but that partnership very important, and it's great that it's there. And I see Patrick Harley here as well, and the work he does up there. You know,
yeah, I think that should be celebrated, and that's something I want to emphasise today: the importance of, you know, local organisations and businesses supporting initiatives like this, and the importance then of us as a community supporting them. And I suppose too, maybe there's going to be businesses listening to this today, or other organisations that might see an opportunity to get on board with what they're doing here at Horizons, because, you know, you can't make decisions unless you know, and that's part of what we're doing here today.
Yeah, definitely, Greg. And, you know, fair play to Highland Radio, you're always there to promote and do your very best for each and every organisation. And listen, I suppose as county councillors, and we're joined here by the mayor as well, Councillor Jeremy Monegal of Letterkenny, and you know, we're lucky enough to be in the position that we're in, that we can provide support and funding to organisations, and you know, that's something that we're very lucky to have as our Members Development Fund. We have the DFI there as well, and you know, we contribute that, you know, yearly there we get in the region of 20,000 to 25,000, and that we can allocate out to different community organisations. And you know, listen, they're not all successful, but we try our level best to help each and every group in this we can.
Listen, thanks very much for that, Councillor Donald Mandy Kelly. I'll get to current mayor shortly. I just want to have a quick word too with Councillor Thomas Sean Devine. It's a wonderful spot, isn't it, Thomas?
Oh, it's unbelievable, Greg. Like, you know, it's it's amazing the services that these kids have. Like, you know, as a father of a child in Little Angels, I'm delighted that I know he has somewhere to come once he leaves Little Angels.
How important is that actually, to know that there's a continuance of support as a dad? Just because, you know, not a counsellor, not a this, just as a dad.
As a father, Greg, it's unbelievable. They know that we have them supports for Pater when he leaves Little Angels. You know, it's heart-wrenching when you see the work that these people do here, Greg. You know, the goodness that's here.
So encouraging, isn't it?
This building, like, even looking at it, you know, that the love.
Well, I
and the
thought it
care
was
in
just what was behind the front doors, and that was
Yeah.
just the reception. You know, I thought, wow, okay, this is amazing. What age is Pater now?
Pater's 11 coming
Okay,
now. So
right, okay. So Little Angels are working with him, and then he'll end up here too as well. And you know, amazing people that work here as well too, Thomas. I think you know, the staff, without the staff, places like this just wouldn't exist.
Craig, that's true. Like, you know, like from Pater, from he was a child coming through from some lady mentioned there just a wee while ago, the bus services from the independents leaving the house, they come to Little Angels knowing that this is going to continue when it comes to here. It's unbelievable. Like,
how are you feeling? Looking great?
Definitely all right, Greg. I'm blathering on rightly.
Going in the right direction. Anyway.
Going in the right direction, hopefully.
That's
So
right,
that's it, you know.
Mayor Councillor Jerry McMonigal, Mayor of Letterkenny Milford, isn't it? It's Letterkenny Milford, isn't it? You don't want to forget Milford. You know? Caroline did, sorry. No, you wouldn't. Caroline did. She's a Letterkenny woman, I get that a lot. Come here. I know as Mayor, there's nice special occasions that come along, and it's nice to be here today, isn't it, too? It's part of not the job, but this isn't work, is it? It's lovely to see.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see, and the facilities that are here are excellent, but the services that they provide and the opportunities and the independence that they give to young adults who attend and are participants here is second to none. You know, that engagement with the business community and the wider community, you know, the placements and the learning that the young adults who attend here get out of it, and that, as I say, that independence, where they can get on buses or go into places of work, and they can play a participatory and a significant role in them workplaces. That's fantastic, and it's a lot of that is down to the staffing and the teaching that they get, and obviously the help and support. And I would like to congratulate the staff here in Donegal Horizons, and indeed staff who work with people with disabilities, and whether it be intellectual or physical, right across the gambit here in the county, and particularly in Letterkenny. You know,
yeah, and I think this place, as we heard earlier on, well supported by the HSE. You know, all four of us here have to sometimes hold the HSE's feet to the fire, but we're here. They support Carndonagh as well. In Carndonagh, by coincidence, they recently reopened the services for older people too. So credit where it's due when something's working. You know, there's 56 service users here, and I think 20 in Carndonagh, and the HSE seem to be doing well in supporting what they're doing here. So we can get things right.
Yeah, no, and they do at times, you know, but you have to keep their feet to the fire at times as well. And that's
trying to be positive, Jerry. Work with me here. People think I'm a whinge bag.
That's the job of us as elected representatives, to engage on behalf of the local community, and where there is a gap in services, to try and get them filled. And in fairness to the HSE, you know, they provide great services. The service that they provide here, the funding that they provide here, and another support services is very, very good at the minute. We could be getting it better, but look, I'm sure all the participants and the staff here are very pleased with what they're receiving from the HSE at the moment, and long may that continue.
Yeah, for sure. We better. Okay. Councillor McMonigal, thanks very much indeed, Mayor of Letterkenny Milford. Councillor Mandy Kelly, you're doing the honours, are you?
Yeah.
Cutting the ribbon?
Greg,
do we still cut ribbons? Maybe
well,
AI do it now? I don't know what happens now.
I'll tell you, Greg, I'm absolutely delighted and honoured to be asked to cut the ribbon here today. And, you know, that's a testament to everyone. And like the Mayor there, I want to congratulate everyone involved, Sheamus, Anne and the whole team, and each and every individual here. You know, the fantastic premises here now, a fantastic team involved here, and they're all dedicated, you know, and you know, it's just a great honour, Greg, to be invited here. And you know, when I got the phone call and asked to come in and cut the ribbon, you know, there's a wee soft spot on me, and I thought, geez, I'd be delighted to. So I'm delighted to be here to officially do that today, Greg.
All right, cheers. Good stuff. Well, we'll not delay. What time is that? At 11, Caroline? At 11 o'clock? Are we going out? We'll see. Okay, thanks very much. We need to get you a microphone. Thanks, Caroline. All right, thank you very much, Councillor Donald Mandy Kelly. Councillor, thank you. Okay, big round of applause. Well done. Okay. I forgot whereas I could get used to this. Is this what it feels like to be on the Late Late Show? Right, thanks very much to Councillor Donald Mandy Kelly, Mayor Jerry McMonagle, and also, who was there as well? Thomas Sean Devine, of course. It's great to be here. We're broadcasting live for these from these wonderful new facilities, doing our bit to support the community and the people that work so hard within the community, and all those that avail of great services like this. We're at the grand opening of Donegal Horizons, opening doors and opening minds. Their centre here is at the Grand Central Letterkenny. They've been here a few months, right? But we're here for the official opening. That's going to be happening shortly. You can still get down here, by the way, and say hello. There are refreshments being served. There's cakes and buns and sandwiches and coffee and tea, and a very welcoming Caden Mila Fulcher as well. I've got more guests joining me here very shortly, but first let's take this quick break.
Today's 9 till noon show is brought to you by Atlantic Travel in Letterkenny. From radio waves to ocean waves. Atlantic Travel, your cruise holiday experts. Visit atlantictravel.ie.
We love better value at Dunnes Stores, where you'll find big savings on everything you need for your little ones. Choose from a great selection of Malupa cereals and Johnson's bedtime and bath products, now half price. And mix and match any 3 for €30 on jumbo packs of Pampers, nappies and pants. That's just €25 when you use a 5 off 25 grocery voucher. Dunnes Stores, always better value. Terms and conditions apply. Voucher can be used on next in-store grocery shop of €25 or more.
There's any number of new cars out there, but do the numbers add up? With the stylish Peugeot 2008, Fastback 3008 and spacious 5008 electric and hybrid range, they really do. You'll enjoy up to €1,500 trade-in bonus, a free 3-year service plan, a 5-year warranty and a free home charger. Order your 252 Peugeot today at McGinley Motors, your main Peugeot dealer in County Donegal. Offer ends June 30th. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you a community hero? Return is championing over 3,000 community initiatives across Ireland's cities, towns and villages with our Small Town Big Difference campaign. For your chance to win €2,000 for your local community group, tell us how your initiative is making an impact in your local area with a deposit return scheme. T's and C's apply. Visit return.ie/heroes for more information.
Shop Homeland's June mega deals at your local Homeland or online at homeland.ie. Save 10% off all Snickers workwear, trousers and shorts. Fairy non-bio laundry pods, 51 wash, now only $13.99. Save 15% off all Royal Canine, Mini, Medium and Maxi Dog food bags. Offers end June 22nd. Visit homeland.ie. Nationwide delivery available.
As part of National Food Waste Recycling Week, Donegal County Council, in partnership with Bryson Recycling and EnviroGrind Limited, are holding free compost giveaway events. Householders can collect free compost made from food and garden waste. Food waste recycling starter packs will also be available to support the use of the food waste recycling bin. The final compost giveaway day takes place today, Thursday, from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. in Lahey Recycling Centre and 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Stranala Recycling Centre. Householders should bring their own bags or container to collect the compost. Compost available while stocks last.
Highland Radio weather updates with McElhenny's. Find all your summer essentials from fashion and accessories to beauty and homeware at McElhenny's. Explore more in-store or shop online at mcelhennys.com today.
All right, you're very welcome back to the programme. Let's see if I can grab that weather forecast for you. And, well, today it'll have a mix of sunny spells, scattered showers, with the showers becoming more isolated this afternoon. Temperatures 12 to 15 degrees in light to moderate westerly winds. Now, two guests with me. Emer Freel, former Donegal player and teacher in Loretto Convent, Letterkenny. Good morning.
Greg, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Yeah, doing very well, thank you. Just after getting the school holidays, so it's all very positive here.
Yeah, you shouldn't be saying that, you know. I mean, would you want the text machine to go on fire? Well, how long is it since you hung up the boots?
2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so-
still playing for my club, but just not for Donegal anymore.
Do you miss it?
What's that?
Do you miss it?
Of course,
The
yeah.
inter-county stuff?
It's a very special thing to put on your county colours, and it's a very sad day when you have to take the jersey off as well. But there's always very good players to take your place, and there's a great woman here beside me that is, well, not so much in the same position, but is definitely taking the reins with the jersey anyway.
Yeah, that's Jodie McFaden, Donegal ladies footballer and sports and exercise students at ATU. Jodie, thanks for joining us.
No bother, thank you for having me.
It's great to have you with us. Emer, talk to me about your transition year students at Loreto and their interconnections with Donegal Horizons.
Well, this year in Loreto, we have started the Future Leaders Programme, which is a programme for transition year students to really allow them to embrace leadership opportunities in the community, within our own school and in their own clubs as well. And one of the initiatives that we really proposed this year, and it was student-led, was that idea of getting involved with the disability services and seeing in a leadership capacity what they could really get out of that experience. So we linked up with Donegal Horizons very early in this year for their first blitz that they had ran down in Letterkenny Rovers pitch there. And the girls helped out in a coaching capacity, through mentoring, even small things like nutrition at halftime and some motivational talks for the teams. And from that experience, immediately after, the girls asked if we could get involved with more activities run by Donegal Horizons. And that was very easy because they are such an event-led company, and every week they have something different happening. And I have to say, for the girls, it was such a beneficial experience for them because it took that sort of separation away. Like, you know, a lot of people talk about, you know, community involvement and allowing, you know, the disability service to really be out there in the community, but there really isn't that many opportunities for that. But I really do think the Donegal Horizons have made strides against that.
Yeah.
And it's been a great experience for everyone in the community to just come down on a day-to-day level and to get involved in some way or the other. And the girls in our school, they're on such great terms with all the trainees here. We've all got to know them so well, and we've enjoyed every single minute of being involved with it.
Yeah, and you know, as you said, it's mutually beneficial. They're growing too, aren't they, and learning more. And this is what inclusion looks like, isn't it?
It's exactly, and it's supposed to be
what it is.
It's supposed to be on a ground level. It's supposed to be on a day-to-day basis. You know, it's not supposed to be a big song and a dance. The integration has been really on a team level. As the girls have been coming down in a coaching capacity, they've been high-fiving their teammates here. We have such trust in our girls in our school. Like, I would always sing their praises. Like, I really think that we have the best school in the world, but you know, other people may disagree. And I have always felt like that. The trust that I have in my students and the pride that I feel for them with every event that they do, I see the exact thing coming from the leaders here in Donegal Horizons. They have total trust in their trainees, and they are always pushing them forward. And that was very evident from the fantastic Stars in the Rise show that was held in the Mount Errigal, that it wasn't just a fundraiser, it was an opportunity for the trainees to showcase how talented that they are. And I'm sure you've heard, Greg, you know, they blew the roof off the Mount Errigal that night. And for anyone that was there, it was the best show, hands down, that I've ever been part of. And the first thing that my students asked me when the curtain went down on that show was, when they are doing their next show, sign our names up. We don't care if we're in fifth year, we want to be involved. And like, you know, that for me just shows that if you provide the opportunity, which Donegal Horizons consistently do, people will get involved and would only be glad to be involved.
Yeah, for sure. Jodie McFaden, as I mentioned, current Donegal ladies footballer and sports and exercise students at ATU. How have you been involved? Is it through the ATU with Donegal Horizons, Jodie?
Yeah, through the ATU. So we had reached out to Donegal Horizons, we had through email, and Sheamus actually got back to us within less than an hour, which was great for us.
Isn't he?
So what we decided to do, a part of an assignment for a module that we have over in ATU for our course Sports and Exercise, myself and Amy Porter and Abby McGranahan, we hosted a sports day for Donegal Sports Horizons over in the Letterkenny Community Centre. They were a massive help to us. They gave us so much equipment and a chance to work with the adults from Donegal Horizons. And what involved was football, basketball, penalty shootouts, beanbag throwing, and a full match of football at the end. The competitiveness shown on the day was brilliant by the group all round, and the work that Sheamus and Dylan do with them through sports was definitely recognised that day anyway. They were just a great group to work with. I think maybe we had more crack than bloody they did. So they were great crack on the day, but no, we really enjoyed it. And the energy that day, it was infectious throughout the group. Everybody was, the way that they cheer each other on and the bond that they have with each other, it was really inspiring that day to see.
But you've built a bond too in that short period of time, not unlike the TY girls as well. You know, you got to know them, and everyone was on first name basis and all that kind of stuff as well.
That's it. It took about 10-15 minutes to get to know the group, and it actually was really, really enjoyable. And fortunately enough, Jamie and Dylan invited us back then a couple of weeks after to a tournament that was hosted in Letterkenny Rovers with a few other groups in Letterkenny that help those in need with intellectual disabilities. And we got to coach Donegal Horizons from the sidelines, which was brilliant. And the moment we stepped on the pitch, they recognised us straight away, which was obviously really nice to know that they took learnings away from the day that we had with them, and they showed it on the day whenever they competed against other groups that day, and we really enjoyed it as well. And they're an inspiring group, and look, we really look up to them. And we, as for ourselves, myself and Abby and Amy, we stepped away that day and was kind of like, you know, it's not just teaching that shows the sports and exercise course does. There's so many open doors, and you know, we kind of stepped away and we were like, we'd actually really love to work with a group like that. They were so, like, they were a lovely group to work with.
But of course too, I mean, to have access to an inter-county player as well, it's lovely in the other direction as well. Do you know what I mean?
No, it was lovely.
You've got a great profile yourself, so it's a two-way thing, but it's lovely to see that you're learning from it at the same time as they're learning from you.
That's it. You could see exactly the learnings they took away from it the day that we had the tournament, and there was a bit of rivalry there and a bit of friendliness.
I always like competition. I think in any environment you need competition.
That's it, yeah,
you know.
and they definitely showed it. Anyway, there's a lot of competitiveness there, a bit of anger too, but it was great to see it, so yeah.
Good stuff. How's the football going, Jodie, the team? Is it still in a transition period? Is that how you would see it? Because, you know, there's a lot of people stepped away, a lot of brilliant people coming in, but it takes time to get where you want to be, doesn't it?
That's it, yeah. People are calling it a transition phase, and I suppose you could say that too. But look, we have girls stepping up to the panel every day. So we had training last night, and there were 7 girls that missed it because they're sitting their leaving cert. So look, that's a massive, you know, that kind of a bit of evidence there that probably is a transition phase. But look, we're, you know, holding ourselves pretty well this year.
I think so,
we got through the league campaign, we stayed up, which was definitely good for us. We've got Galway now on the 14th of June at home, and we have Tipperary away. So I think for a big one for us is we're looking to pull away with wins. And you know, we played Galway previously in the league and we did fall short, but look, there's nothing to take away from that. You know, it's still a game at the end of the day and anybody could win, but we're looking to just get a good championship under our belt, especially after the defeat to Armagh. But look, we're looking forward to championship. We're training hard. We've got good numbers, and that's the main one for us. Really.
Get the exams out the way. That's the thing.
That's the main one. Yeah, get everybody back training. So yeah.
As the ladies prepare for the championship, Emer, does part of you go, oh, a wish maybe, or you're happy in retirement?
I guess I have another opportunity to see the games from a different perspective now, through the analysis and the commentary, and you know, it's been a fantastic experience for me being able to watch a lot of men's football and also the girls, and I have to say I'm obviously more tied to the girls football, and it's very hard to be the old neutral whenever you're watching Donegal play.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's not easy, that part of it, is it?
It's not, but as Jodie said, you know, people do talk a lot about this transitionary period for this group of girls that are coming in, and you know, they in some ways were left high and dry by a lot of the senior girls pulling out around the same time, and you know, maybe some of us held on for longer than we should have.
But maybe calling it a transition period still is doing them a bit of a disservice now.
It is, because
they're building their own legacy now.
They are, and whenever you're looking at that starting panel now, you have the likes of Katie Dowds there, who is sitting her leaving cert. You know, Katie is a seasoned senior player at this stage in her 3rd season for Donegal. You know, very few people can say that as a transition year student that you were out wearing the county jersey. And you have to remember that in 2011, after Donegal had just won the intermediate championship, you know, we were the Donegal that's there at present, and you know, we had a lot of lows before we finally had our highs, and then we did win 4 Ulster championships in a row, and we're contesting All Ireland championships. So I think people have to be patient with the girls and realise that, you know, they are the new Donegal, and there's no point really talking about who was there before, because when you have a group of the standards that are there at present, like I have full belief that this will be the team that will get to the Holy Grail.
Well, I think really it's maybe the media need to move past that now as
I
well.
think that's it. And you know, there is no more point in talking about
let them
that.
stand on their own 2 feet now. Yeah, exactly.
Which they're well able to do.
Precisely, 100%. Emer, lovely to have you in with us and to hear of your experiences with your students and the brilliant workers here and trainees at Donegal Horizons, and best luck, Jodie, in the championship, and thank you so much for calling in to see us as well. Jodie McFaden there, and Emer Freel will be back with the news headlines at 11 o'clock after we take a break.
Planning holidays, creating memories. Atlantic Travel on Oliver Plunkett Road, Letterkenny bring you today's 9 till noon show. See atlantictravel.ie.
Summer Sounds at Harvey's Point. Every Wednesday from May the 21st until June the 25th, a magical evening of music, song and dance from some of Ireland's greatest stars. Gourmet dinner, the warmest of welcomes. Don't delay. Book today. harveyspoint.com or 074 972 2208. That magical evening on the shores of Loch Esk awaits.
Grab half-price broadband in the Virgin Media Playhouse. For this month only, all our broadband speeds are half price. That's lightning-fast connection from just €35 a month, locked in for 12 months with no activation fee. Why wait? Enjoy speeds from 500 megs to 5 gigs right now. All for half price. Available nationwide. See virginmedia.ie. Virgin Media. It's playtime.
Subject to location and availability. New customers only. €35 per month for 12 months for 500 meg broadband. Half price on 12-month broadband contracts only and based on after-offer prices for all speeds. Offer ends 2nd of July. T's and C's apply. See virginmedia.ie.
Go electric during our 252 event and discover our full range of rewired iconic Ford cars, including the all-electric Explorer, the all-new Capri, and the Puma has gone fully electric, starting from €29,900. Ford have gone electric. Ireland is going electric. So what's stopping you? Go electric. Book your test drive at Ford.ie. Offer ends 15th of June. Price includes grant and VRT relief and excludes delivery and related charges. T's and C's apply.
I've been looking after Mum for a good few years now. It's been hard at times.
Have you where it's going to be from right display and we're all
Find out more at gov.ie/pension. A Government of Ireland initiative brought to you by the Department of Social Protection.
Okay, it is 11 o'clock. You are tuned to the 9 till noon show here on... Thank you. It is 11 o'clock. You tuned to the 9 till noon show here on Highland Radio. And we'll get the news headlines now with Donna Marie Doherty.
Thanks, Greg. Good morning. It has been confirmed to a Donegal deputy by the Regional Health Executive Officer for the HSE West and North West that the proposal to develop a surgical hub in the North West has now been considered by the HSE Board and was approved last week. It comes after 171 doctors from Donegal demanded an urgent meeting with the Minister for Health over the exclusion of Letterkenny from the plan. It's understood the hub is to be located in Sligo. Deputy Padre McLaughlin says the need for this meeting has become more urgent than ever. 17 Donegal projects have been allocated a total of €1.3 million under the 2025 Community Recon Fund. The largest allocation for a Donegal project goes to Letterkenny Youth and Community Centre, with almost €150,000 for the upgrade of its existing building on the Lower Main Street. Minister of State for Sport and Postal Policy, Charlie McConalogue, says the money awarded to the county is a recognition of the acceptance of new people to the community. The results of a HICWA inspection at Letterkenny have been published today. One non-compliance was noted at the designated Centre for Adults with Disabilities in the area of notification of incidents. The complaints procedure was found to be substantially compliant, and the remaining 9 regulations were totally compliant. Wait times for driving tests are already showing a reduction. The RSA says the average national wait time has fallen by almost 2 weeks since tests were offered over extended hours, at weekends and on bank holidays. Israel says it's recovered bodies of 2 hostages taken in the Hamas attacks on October 7th from Gaza. Benjamin Netanyahu says Jodie Weinstein and Gag Hadi were returned to Israel as part of a special operation by the army at Shin Bet security agencies. Mediators have been trying to broker another ceasefire and hostage release deal after Israel ended an earlier truce in March. And finally, social housing tenants are living in limbo because there's no funding to carry out widespread testing for defective concrete. That's according to Councillor Brian Carr, who says there's some people who are looking to buy their home from the council and cannot do so until testing has been carried out. He was told that between 8 and 10 houses have been tested over the past 3 months. That's all for now from the news desk. Back with more at 12 noon.
Aiden's just missed the ice cream van and can hear the song out into the distance. But it's no bother, as Mam stocked up for summer with Aldi's specially selected luxury Irish ice cream, Madagascan vanilla, for only $2.99. He's also been treated to delicious 100% Irish fresh strawberries. Ooh! New season, Board B quality assured, and only $2.65. The ice cream van's nothing but a distant memory. Good food, good mood, from Aldi, while stocks last.
You all welcome back to Donegal Horizons. We're good. We're good. Fantastic. I wonder if they come through the mic. So we pass around. You don't tell me what to do. Okay, we'll come back with that mic. Thank you very much. We were attempting to get
Shannon, you can go on out there. Yeah, you go on out there and take that down. You go on out there and we can look at the visuals of it. All right, okay. You are very welcome back to the 9 till noon show here on Highland Radio. We're broadcasting live from Horizons here at Donegal Horizons, in fact, here at the Grand Central Letterkenny. It's still time to call down. It's officially sort of open to the public until 12. There are refreshments and special guests, and we've been speaking to them, some of them already so far this morning. If you want to WhatsApp or text us, just to remind you, I don't think I need the jacket now, do I? 086 60 25,000, that's the WhatsApp and text number, and you can also give us a call on 074 91 25,000. If you want to email the show, it's comments@highlandradio.com. And as we had a few of you today, if you're listening to the overnighter, the replay that's broadcast in the early hours of the morning, or in fact, if you wish to contact us as you listen to the podcast, please feel free to do so. Comments@highlandradio.com. A caller says, I see the Gaza graffiti is spread outside Letterkenny on the back road, on the back of road signs. Defacing our country is not helping the cause, and I am very sympathetic to the plight of the poor innocent victims of this war. A caller says, my son is dyslexic. This was picked up in primary school. He's now in secondary school and will be doing his leaving cert as an LCA student. He recently won an award, a prize given for the special recognition for positive contribution to the leaving cert applied. Was super proud of him. The school offered great support. I hope that everyone with dyslexia gets recognition for what their capabilities are and work on those to promote positive mental health. Hear, hear. I think most people would agree with that there. Please say hello to Patrick Shields in Fanet. He couldn't make it to the official opening today, but sends his best wishes. More than happy to do so there. Sorry I can't make the opening today. It was always nice to see smiling faces when I called. Well done to all. That comes in from Tony McNamee. There's no point me pointing at the ground there, Caroline, so I'll just kick that out. A caller says, if you face additional challenges in secondary education, you are entitled to apply to the Disability Access Route to Education scheme. If successful, you can benefit from a reduced points allocation to get into the college of your choice. Your secondary school should be letting you know that this exists. Mary B. Arkinson from Castlederg listens to Highland Radio every day. She will be 96 soon. Big shout out from your daughter Anne Ramsey here at Donegal Horizons. Thanks for messaging us in, Anne. And on it goes. Thank you so much for all of your comments coming in so far. This caller says, from the start the system is broken. The child needs to have a confirmed diagnosis and the school is only approved for a very small number of educational psychological assessments per year. So most causes go by undiagnosed unless the parent identify the need themselves, then pay for a private diagnosis and then begin the fight for service help. This is off the back of a conversation we were having earlier on about the early detection of dyslexia and then the supports in schools. And so on. Earlier help needed so children can get support they need from the early age and then they can progress in school, says another listener there. Another on this topic, Kathleen says, I don't understand why they don't pick up on this over the years. Why at the last minute? Well, that's what some parents are asking. It fails to make sense for them. Donna says, so many kids are slipping through the national school system because of schools only being allocated so many a year. And once they go to secondary school to get a diagnosis, you have to pay. The support in secondary school is there. You just have to have the paperwork and push for the help they need and deserve for, especially coming up for exams. I do genuinely think that there might be just a little bit of a difference dependent on where you are or what school you're engaging with or what the story might be in that regard, because we're getting very different experiences from different parts of the county, so to speak. We were talking about health, of course. We've been talking about health an awful lot this week. You heard an email doing the rounds, which I'll bring to you a little later on the issue of the surgical hub for Letterkenny. We'll get back to that in a moment. I just want to read this. Greg, may I use your show to give a mention to a beautiful situation, isn't it? Myself with another friend went to a small town that I'm not too familiar with to put flowers on my friend's grave. We were peckish and asked a lady on the street if there was a restaurant or cafe in town, to which she directed us to McCoy's Cafe. What a beautiful experience we had. The food was beautiful, but the waitress was even more beautiful. A big shout out to Kaylee, who was the nicest, most pleasant, smiling, helpful waitress I've ever met. And I used to be a hotel manager for many years. Thank you, Kaylee, for making our sad mission very happy. I can't go out there, Caroline, and so they're doing the official opening now, are they? All right, we'll come back with the official opening from the Horizon Centre here in Letterkenny after the break.
The county's #1 talk show, the 9 till noon show on Highland Radio.
Today's 9 till noon show is brought to you by Atlantic Travel in Letterkenny. From radio waves to ocean waves, Atlantic Travel, your cruise holiday experts. Visit atlantictravel.ie.
This Sunday is the 23rd Annual Vintage and Family Fun Day. Hundreds of vintage cars and tractors, wacky lawnmower racing, fashion show, and Ireland's top children's entertainer, Billy Bubbles. Plus, live in the marquee, it's Michaela Harkin. That's at the Any Show and Vintage Weekend, Carrickfield, Moville.
If that tickle in your throat has turned into a nasty cough, or if you're just feeling a bit under the weather, at McGee's Chemist we understand. From the right cough bottle to pain relief or throat lozenges, we've everything you'll need to get you back on your feet. Our pharmacists and experienced staff are always ready to offer advice and help you find the right solutions. Don't suffer in silence. Visit McGee's Chemist today. McGee's Chemist, Main Street, Letterkenny, for healthcare help and advice you can always trust.
The Irish Independent says the all-new Dacia Bigster offers style, comfort and agility. It's the big family car with big space, big tech, a big boot and big hybrid power with a not-so-big price tag. From an incredible €29,990 with low-cost finance options available. Visit your local Dacia dealer to find out more. Price excludes delivery and related charges. T's and C's apply, subject to lending criteria. Offers are limited. See dacia.ie.
New this week in Home Store and More. All outdoor heating is half price. But better hurry, because when all our half price outdoor heating is gone, it's gone. Also, all camping and all bath mats are still all half price. But when all the half price camping and all the half price bath mats are gone, they're definitely gone. Drop by your local Home Store and More. Visit us online at homestoreandmore.ie. Home Store and More. A happy home.
Charge into summer with TUI. Secure your holiday today with savings for families and adults flying from Dublin, Cork and Shannon. Holiday sorted. TUI. Live happy.
Highland Radio Time Checks brought to you by EirGrid, the operator and developer of Ireland's electricity grid.
EirGrid, powering up communities, powering up Ireland. The time is?
Okay, the time is just approaching 12 minutes past 11, and we're watching the scenes at the front here of this wonderful building where the official ribbon cutting is taking place. I see Donald Mandy Kelly, Councillor Donald Mandy Kelly there, and lots of the trainees and staff out there as well. And the sun is shining, if you don't mind. So this is the official opening of the centre. The ribbon is just about to be cut, and hopefully you've enjoyed the programme today, because it's been fantastic to be down here and sort of give people an insight into the fantastic work that Donegal Horizons does, not just here in Letterkenny, of course, but also in Carndonagh. They work with 56 people here, and a further 20, I believe, in Carndonagh. And then during the summer, the two organisations can get together, and the trainees can work together or have fun together, do whatever they want to do together. You know yourself, there's lots of things organised all of the time. So if you want to watch the ribbon cutting, you can watch it live. Go onto our socials right now, Highland Radio, on X, on the Facebook page, and also on YouTube, where you can watch it back a little later on. As I say, the photographers are taking their pictures, and Councillor Donald Mandy Kelly has the scissors ready to go, so to speak, and that official ribbon opening. But come down here if you can before 12 and see what they've got going on here. It is wonderful. And there it is. That is the ribbon cut, and the place is officially open. Fantastic stuff. Well done to all involved. Okay. I think I mentioned that. Right, okay. We have our next guest joining us on the programme shortly. It is Councillor Martin McDermott, of course, because there has been some advances in terms of the defective concrete block scheme. Work always ongoing to try and seek improvements there, but he's just not there at the moment, so I'll come to him in a moment. 086 60 25,000, that's the WhatsApp and text number, 086 60 25,000, or give us a call on 074 91 25,000. And just to remind you, if you want to email the show, it's comments@highlandradio.com. Now, I want to mention a wonderful little initiative we have. It's running exclusively on our social media pages. It's your opportunity to fly, well, you'll know where, from Belfast International Airport, because you have the opportunity to win 2 return flights from Belfast International Airport to any of their EasyJet destinations, whether it's sun, city, sea. Your next adventure could be just one lucky entry away. So it's in association with Belfast International Airport, and one of you will have the chance to win those 2 return flights from Belfast International Airport. So if you want to enter, just head over to our socials, follow, like and share for your chance to win. The winner will be announced on Monday, June 9th, so not a million miles away. And please be aware, though, there are fake accounts out there. For some reason, others want to exploit you. They might send you fake messages saying you've won something or other when you haven't, in fact. We will let you know that you've won. We'll contact you, and there'll be no links to click or anything like that there. So please just be extra cautious. Right, okay. We are joined on the programme now via remotely, in fact, by Councillor Martin McDermott. Good morning, Martin. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, good morning, Greg. Yeah.
It's good to have you on the programme. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, so I suppose we have to say Housing Minister James Brownie came down in listening mode. He said, you know, he had been well briefed on the system, but he wanted to see firsthand what was going on. And a few short weeks later, we are seeing some development of the DCB scheme, it has to be said.
Yeah, that's correct, Greg. The Minister came down a few weeks ago, and I think, you know, to be fair, he spent a long time in the county. He listened to all the groups, he listened to ourselves, he listened to the Defective Concrete Block Committee, he listened to us as a party, and he certainly took our issues that we had on board. Some of them, as you know, a number of them went to Cabinet yesterday and are now going to go through the Houses of Oireachtas, which they're hoping to have done before the recess in July. And there's still some other outstanding ones that we do have to get dealt with later on this year. But to be fair, a lot of the big ones have been hit here, particularly the retrospective payments, which now we'll be back to the 29th of March.
Can you explain that to me, right? So if I just have effectively the doors to put on the 1st of April, if that's all I had to do, or it was just signed off the day after, or however that system, the completion of works, is the retrospective grant for all of the works and all the money I spent, or is it any money I spent after that date?
Whatever money that you've spent after that date, so any invoices that you have after the date of the 29th of March. So if your invoices were pre that, they're not included in the increase in rate, but any invoices that you would have incurred, costs incurred after the 29th of March.
All right, and do you think, do you think that captures most people?
Yeah, I think it does, Greg, because this date was the 23rd of October. Now it's back to the 29th of March, which is an extra 6 months, which will capture quite a lot of people, because at that point there wasn't that very many people in the scheme. There wasn't that many people actually had remediation works done. And go back to the period of 2023 into 2024, the costs of rebuild were not in excess of what they are today. So it should certainly alleviate a lot of the problems for the vast majority of homeowners that need that retrospective payment and that extra cost per square foot.
We know that there will be some leniency for people to build on a site where the defective house still stands. The wording seems to be that it's going to be the exception rather than the rule. Do you believe there will be very strong criteria on that? I mean, we all know of the, some particular high-profile cases in that regard, but I don't imagine us seeing a lot of houses built side by side, or do you?
No, I don't know, Greg. This is something that, to be fair, as a defective concrete block committee and particularly, the staff within the council, and something that I've been trying to push with the department for 3 or 4 years now, probably 5 years actually, for a side by side, particularly for people with disabilities. And I've discussed this with lots of families that have children and adults with disabilities, that they should be allowed to build side by side where they have the room to do so. And it's something that we done as a council. We put together, a submission to the department going back after Christmas of houses that we have on our books that we feel that would be, that would be able to do that. So, it is something that a lot of work has went into, but I do feel that it'll be something that'll be quite tight in relation to who's actually going to be able to do that. But it sort of ticks the boxes for what we want to happen. I think it allows families that are in a very difficult situation, that have nowhere else to go, that can't get any accommodation that suits their family or the way that they live every day. And this will certainly be a weight off their shoulders to be able to build a house beside the house and then demolish the house after. So
he also met with downgraded homeowners. You know yourself the plight that they're facing. They're in an appeals process. Are they in an appeals process? They don't know. They seem to have been downgraded in a desktop exercise from Sligo or somewhere else. You know the crack. Any indications about their situations?
No, there doesn't seem to be any indications on that, but that is something that he did say that he would certainly look at, and I've spoken to his officials only yesterday and had that conversation with them about the downgraded homeowners, and that is something that they are engaging with in the minute and looking at. I think, there's probably, we know that the update to the new standard is going to happen very shortly. Well, probably going to be next year now, Greg, at this stage, because it's been extended by another 6 weeks. But whether that standard comes on or doesn't come on, it doesn't really have an influence on those downgraded homeowners. From the very word go back to before the scheme came out before the new scheme came out back in July of 2023, sorry, we did have a meeting with the department about the fact that there was going to be a cohort of people moving from council to the housing agency, and we felt that was wrong at the time. We felt that should have been all dealt with through the local authority at the time, that there was no people moving from one to another, and if they had to do that at the time, that would have alleviated a lot of the problems, in my opinion. But look, they didn't do that. But I do feel that those homeowners that have found themselves downgraded, to a situation where they're not getting the right remediation that they feel that they should be, and there's certainly a lot of homeowners in that respect. I do feel that something needs to happen urgently on that, Greg.
Okay, and just very finally, the significance of the time to complete works going from, just over a year to 130 weeks.
Yeah, well, that again, the 65 weeks is something that we've been highlighting from the start. It was way too tight. Certainly, it was too tight for a county like Donegal, where we have quite a considerable amount of remediations to do. Now that's been extended now to 130 weeks, and also the 24-week timeline that you had to put in your if you wanted an extension to that has been changed now to 2 weeks. So 2 weeks out from completion, you can extend by another 24 weeks on top of that. So that will be a massive help for homeowners and for contractors as well. It'll give a bit of flexibility, because that has been a problem particularly over the last 3 or 4 months, where homes have found themselves running over that 65 weeks.
Okay.
Also, as part of that legislation that's come through yesterday, there's a few other things on that. The payments to applicants. So there's applicants that have went to the housing agency that have got a remediation, and they have decided to hold on that remediation and get a technical review whenever the new standard comes out. The problem with some of those applicants was that they couldn't then get their fees back because they didn't have a recommendation in writing from the local authority. That's something that we did take up with the department, go back a number of months, and we took up with the minister. That again is going to be fixed in this legislation, would allow those families to get their money back, their engineers' fees back, because some of those families have been out their engineers' fees for up to 3-4 years now at this stage. So that will certainly help those people to alleviate that. And there's other minor things as well going through legislation that will make the scheme easier worked for both the local authority and the homeowners.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it, of course, with interest. Thank you very much indeed. I do appreciate your time, Councillor Martin McDermott. Right, we are joined on the programme now by spokesperson for My Way, Sinead Nick Manman. Good morning to you. How are you keeping?
Good morning, Greg, and good morning to your listeners, and I'm delighted to be with you this morning, so thank you for having me.
We were given a brown bin. It's a tiny little thing. What am I supposed to do with it, Sinead?
So the brown bin, and this week, National Food Waste Recycling Week, is all about educating and informing people on what exactly to do with that question, what to do with your brown bin. So the brown bin, Greg, is essentially, it's the unit or the receptacle or the bin that all food waste should go into going forward. So over the last number of years, we've increased across the country the number of households with a brown bin to over 1 million households now. And what we're asking all of those households to do is to continue with the great work that they're doing, and then to ensure that as they go forward, that we put the right materials into the bin, and to really, I suppose, in particular, reduce the amount of contamination that's, I suppose, at the moment going into those food waste or those brown bins.
Now, there was a little bin inside the little bin. It wasn't made clear what that was for. And I'm not being in any way facetious, I hope you understand, but I think a lot of people got these dropped at their doors or have been over the last wee while. So there's a little bin in the little bin. Is it clear what should go where?
Yeah, so there's lots of different systems out there in relation to the way that waste contractors are delivering the bins. So some households get a larger 240-litre bin and some get a smaller one. So in the first instance, what I would recommend all householders to do is, if you're unsure about the system that you've been provided, give your waste contractor a call and they will be able to clear it up for you. But just, I suppose, in general terms, what you see with the food waste is where you have the two bins, the larger bin and the smaller bin. So the small bin is the kitchen caddy, and that's the smallest of the bins you receive, and that is placed on your kitchen sink. And then the other bin, the second bin, is the outside or the external bin, and you place your waste on daily or every second day from your kitchen caddy into your food waste bin outside, and then that's the bin that's presented at curbside for your waste collector to collect.
So what is food waste? It's kind of obvious now if it's the scrapings off a plate, I think, but say things like, I don't know, eggshells, tea bags, bones, for an example, if there's bones, is that all classed as food waste?
Yeah, so everything like that is classed as food waste. So just the quick, I suppose, the top tips, cooked and uncooked meat and fish, and then your leftover plate scrapings, your tea leaves, your tea bags, your eggshells, your leftover apple cores, fruit peelings, vegetable peels. All of those things are considered materials that are suitable for the brown bin from your kitchen. And then in addition to that, Greg, you can also place small amounts of grass clippings or light garden waste into the brown bins as well.
And I suppose it's like everything, isn't it? It's like people that sort of bring something to the bottle bank, and because it's full, they leave it there. If we're going to make effort, it's well to do it right, isn't it? And to try and sort of commit to the whole system and only put in there what should be in there.
Absolutely. And, look, it is very straightforward. But at the same time, we do know and recognise that there's always confusion about these types of things, what goes into your bin and so on. So what we say is just keep in mind, with your bin, no metal, no glass and no plastic. So it's just for your food waste. So what we often see in the bins, Greg, the materials that we're trying to avoid or trying to make sure that don't get into the food waste bins are things like the plastics around your veg. So say if you buy 3 peppers and you have that soft plastic, we don't want that in the food waste bin. We don't want the tub that your strawberries come in.
Yeah.
We don't want the cartons that your milk or your soup comes in, or even, we don't want the tin foil, or we don't want, a little packet, maybe a small tub of hummus with a little bit of leftover hummus. What we're asking the public to do, and householders, including ourselves across the country, is to just scrape away and scrape out what you can, put it into your food waste bin, and then place the plastic item clean, dry and loose into your recycling bin.
And look, it's like everything, isn't it? We thought we'd never survive without plastic bags, or we thought we'd never need 2 bins, one being sort of a recycling bin. We get used to things in a while after a while, I suppose. So even if it's for new adopters, you get used to it quite soon, I'd imagine.
You absolutely do. And, there's such a feel-good factor in doing the right thing. And, we're ever increasing the amount of food waste that's being captured. And, it's so important for us, because food waste is a valuable resource, it's so important for us to capture it in a way that's not contaminated, because it can be made into something else. It can be made into compost through various composting processes on the island of Ireland, and also it can be made into electricity from anaerobic digestion plants across the country. So it's really important, I suppose, that we try and capture this valuable resource and keep it out of landfill.
All right, listen, thank you so much for your time, Sinead. I do appreciate it. That is all you need to know about what that brown bin is for. It's pretty obvious, I suppose, but anyway, no harm with a little reminder for you. Okay, we're heading towards the last half hour of the 9 till noon show here live from Horizons, Donegal Horizons. They're opening doors and opening minds and opening opportunities. We'll be back with more from the new centre here in Letterkenny, newly opened. It's been here for a few months after we take a break.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook and at highlandradio.com.
Planning holidays, creating memories. Atlantic Travel on Oliver Plunkett Road, Letterkenny bring you today's 9 till noon show. See atlantictravel.ie.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, easy living has it all. Summer is sizzling, and so is the Easy Living Furniture Summer Sale, which has just been extended for a limited time only. Don't miss out on the sale of the season at Easy Living Furniture, Crescent Link Retail Park, Derry, or shop online at easylivingfurniture.co.uk. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Easy Living has it all.
Easy Living Furniture, luxury furnishings, affordable luxury.
TFI Local Link offers frequent, affordable and sustainable bus services, keeping rural communities in Ireland connected.
Save up to 30% on fares when you use your TFI Leap card on eligible TFI local link services. For route and timetable information, visit transportforireland.ie.
Doherty Super Value Carndonna proudly supports local. Enjoy Norris potatoes and Donegal harvest potatoes. Gallagher's and Daniel Doherty's bread. Real local products supporting real local jobs. Thanks for shopping local and backing community producers with every basket at Doherty Super Value Carndonna.
Maybe you're walking home with a guy you really like after a night in the college bar. Or maybe you and another fella are heading back to his in a taxi after meeting in a club. Or perhaps you've gone home with someone after a really great fourth date. There are lots of times and places where we need to say what we want and what we don't want. Whatever the moment, have the consent conversation.
A message from Cuan, a Government of Ireland agency.
McCullough Jewellers in Letterkenny are synonymous with fine jewellery, quality watches and giftware. With stores at Main Street, Letterkenny and the Letterkenny Shopping Centre or online at ormccullough.com. You can choose from their quality product range in a relaxed atmosphere, and their sales staff will be happy to help you make the right choice whatever the occasion. McCullough Jewellers, making moments magical for generations.
Hello everybody, it's Jerry Guther here. Just dropping in to remind you about our big weekend of dancing this weekend at the Clanry Hotel in Letterkenny. On Friday night our special guests will be Michael English and his band, Damien Davis and Jack Kyo. And on Saturday night we'll be joined by David James and his band and Trevor Moyles. Tickets are available at the door. We'll see you at the Clanry this weekend.
Now, many of you watched on dismayed at the revelations in RTE Investigates Nursing Home Investigations, which was broadcast last evening. Very, very troubling indeed. We're joined on the programme now by Frank Dillon, Head of Communications with Alone, to discuss this. Frank, difficult to put into words what people witnessed last night.
Very difficult and very disturbing. And I suppose the first and foremost, our thoughts are with the older people and the families affected by the events depicted in the programme. Some of the evidence was really shocking.
The concern people have now is, did RTE just happen to stumble on the two nursing homes where this was going on? Or until they're reassured otherwise, are they now concerned that this could be going on in every nursing home? We know it's not, don't get me wrong, Frank, but programmes like this or exposés like this, that's the kind of questions people start asking themselves.
Absolutely, and understandably, it does provoke an awful lot of questions. And when you have the private operator identified in the programme with so many facilities throughout Ireland, in fact, I believe they have two in Donegal, it does leave questions for families, and I think it's a concern, and that's why we have to look to HICWA, and I know the Minister was on Morning Ireland this morning quoting that there is an 87% compliance with HICWA regulations.
But Frank, you know as well as I do, a lot of those people know those visits are upcoming. Everything looks rosy in the garden. This is what happens in certain facilities when the owners or the managers or the staff don't know what's going on. So can we trust HICWA to be the sort of arbiters to ensure that this isn't happening, or do we need something else to reassure us?
I think what we need, I suppose, in the here and now, in a now, soon, later approach, yes, we need HICWA to reassure us, and we need them to step up and make sure regulations are enforced. There was another nursing home expert panel that sat after COVID, and they made 86 recommendations, and a lot of them are framework around safe staffing and a skill mix. And that, as of 2025 this year, the framework for safe staffing and skill mix is still in development and is yet to be fully implemented. So there are things we need urgently pushed through. On a longer term scale, we need to have a discussion about the fact that over 1 million people will be over 65 very soon within the next 5 years. And are we putting the right mix in the system? There's a majority of privately owned nursing homes. We need that mix of private, public and not-for-profit, because that keeps everybody honest when you have that mix right.
I can't abide that people are being treated like this. And, we have to make sure, do we not, and you've just alluded to it, is this a business, or is this about us looking after those who gave so much to this country? You know, not to leave them devoid of dignity and pride and the care that we expect they're getting. You know, like I heard the minister this morning, and one of the first things he says is that, you know, the majority of care homes this isn't happening in. He's got no evidence of that really, as such. You know, so if that's the start point from that person at the top, I don't think that's impactful enough language for those who might be concerned about this.
No, absolutely not. And we saw that the language used in the for-profit sector, where they talk about units and they talk about commodities and they talk about margins. And you're right, it's not how we should treat older people that deserve so much more after a lifetime of work. And let's not forget that these nursing homes aren't doing it for the money involved. It's millions and billions, and the cost through the Fair Deal scheme is in the, you know, hundreds per month for people. So I think we should demand the highest level of respect to be delivered to anyone within their care. Okay, well, we'll watch on. It's just really worrying. And I'll be honest with you, you know, I'm processing footage that's been sent to me from a nursing home here in our county. So that's 3, you know, and what else is happening? That'll be going to the people that need to see it, don't get me wrong, but there are whistleblowers all over the place, and I just don't think it's good enough to say that the majority are doing well. They may well be, but we just need something else. We need something to make sure there's a root and branch here. Absolutely, Greg, absolutely. And can I just say that if anyone's aware of any person experiencing abuse, the first stop is the Garda, but our own national support and referral line is available 7 days a week. And just so people are reassured, it's a national support line, but you will talk to somebody in Donegal, and because we have staff all over the country, and there's Michael runs a great team up in Donegal. If I can give the number, please, I know you're stuck for time, 0818 222 024. That's just for independent advice, but if you know somebody experiencing abuse, please contact the guards.
100%. We have a role as well. Thank you very much indeed. That was a very important conversation, I think, in light of what we saw last night. We appreciate Frank Dillon, Head of Communications with Alone, joining us there. Right, Darren Gibson is chair of Turman GAA Club. Good morning to you, Darren. Thank you so much for joining us.
Morning there, Greg. How are you?
I am good, I'm good. Right, the official opening of the clubhouse tomorrow evening. Exciting, exciting times. But take us back. It's the 60s of the last century. Is that right? Is that when Turman was formed, or...?
Turman was indeed formed in 1963. A group of very young men at the time got together. Johnny McCafferty, Patrick Hilferty and a few others, and they wanted to get a football club up and running at a time where there was no Gaelic football organisation in Turman. They approached the then primary school principal in Turman at the time and asked to set up the club, and look, the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah, great club. I don't think any other club likes to see the team bus landing, though. Come here. When did the conversation start about the need for improved facilities?
Well, look, I mean, the club obviously has grown quite a bit since those early 1960s. We have a growing community there, obviously on the edge of Letterkenny. We have new people moving into that community all the time. So the facilities that were very helpfully put there by the founding members and successive administrators and executives were no longer adequate to serve the growing community that we had. So the club members got together and said, look, what do we need here in order to kind of fulfil the mission? And the mission obviously is the promotion of Gaelic games and culture, and to facilitate lifelong participation in the organisation. So one of the key facilities that were required in order to kind of promote that was a new clubhouse, a new facility that could support the entire community.
And this is the latest success off the pitch, but for a relatively young club and a growing club, it has enjoyed plenty of success on the pitch as well over the 60-odd years.
We have. Look, I mean, it's been a very kind of progressive movement from the beginning. You know, there was junior championships, intermediate championships. We competed in a few senior championship finals. Unfortunately, we didn't cross the line. Our team, senior team, competed brilliantly at the weekend down in Rathcarn at the All-Ireland Gaeltacht, and whilst the final result didn't go their way, they did a fantastic job representing themselves, representing the clubs, and indeed the families of the community.
I mean, obviously, you know, you need the drive of the club, and the club is the community, and the community is in the club. But often, too, it's about gathering the money together, and you know, there's different streams that you can draw down on that. There's a lot of fundraising goes on. Talk to me about the funding journey.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, when you're trying to develop capital facilities, it takes money, and that can only come about with team effort, both at a public level, where you have the support of state departments, local politicians and national politicians, and indeed community support in terms of funding that as well. So look, we had a couple of funding initiatives in the club, our Club 300. We had a fantastic group of volunteers there supporting that. We have our bingo committee in Turman who work tirelessly every Friday night to continue with that fundraising initiative. And indeed, we had a number of other fortunate events where we were able to kind of secure private investment into the concept that we were looking to develop as well.
And what it is it's foundations for the future, isn't it? I mean, obviously it's the here and now, but it allows the club to grow further and develop further and service the community and the club's members more into the future.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what it's about. I mean, the GAA promotes a brilliant message. Again, it's the promotion of Gaelic games and culture, and there's a real purity and there's a real goodness about that message. And Turman GAA, like other units of the GAA all around the county and all around the country, just want to continue that good work and promote that good message, those good values of teamwork, volunteerism, community identity. And you know, engaging the entire community as well. And it's fantastic that we're sitting down here and, at the opening of this event today, the New Horizons event, which adds to that engagement and getting everybody in the community involved. And I'm delighted to be sitting here beside our number one Turman supporter, young Anthony Gallagher as well, who's been at the forefront of our celebrations over the course of the last couple of months.
Come into that mic, Anthony. Are you looking forward?
All right.
Are you? Oops, I forgot how. I remember how you've strong your voice was before. Are you going to get along to the opening tomorrow?
I'm waiting for the night with down here and Gavin Caffrey and everybody else in the town, and yeah.
Have you seen the new building yet?
No.
So you're going to see it tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm going to see it tomorrow with my mum and my dad.
Brilliant. Are you the biggest fan?
I am, yeah.
All right, okay, good stuff. Listen, well done. And it's 6:30, the start time for the official launch tomorrow. There's a who's who there of who's turning up, the dignitaries, and of course, you know, from within the club but outside the club. You've got some good names coming tomorrow, Darren.
Yeah, look, I mean, we'll have some of the senior leadership team within the GAA in the county committee, which is fantastic. We'll have representatives of both the GAA at national level, at provincial level, and indeed the LGFA at national level and provincial level. And it's only right that those people should be there as well, because it's very much their success as well as the members of the club in Turman.
Yeah, and it's for Donegal GAA too. All the clubs can see what can be done and what have you. Listen, brilliant stuff. Good luck with that. Is it generally open tomorrow at 6:30 for people to come up and have a look through the facilities and maybe join in the...
Absolutely, everybody's welcome to come along. There'll be a number of underage games on the main pitch. Our under 10 boys, under 10 girls will be playing there, and we'll have our under 13 boys and under 13 girls playing an exhibition match on the training field at the back. And people will get an opportunity to walk around, have a look at the facilities, and see the good work that has been done by the volunteers.
This young man a special tour.
Well, Anthony's going to be number one. There's no doubt about that. He'll be the first man through the building.
That's you, Anthony.
We've even kind of here working in Candona, and when I told you in this and starting to rise, there's two Kermit Dermot starting to ban.
But you were one of the Stavros.
Yeah, Stavros with Sheamus,
yeah. You didn't win though.
No, I'll ban it.
Okay, good stuff. All right, both of you, listen, thanks very much. Good luck with that, and well done to you, Darren. A lot of work. I mean, someone else would need to be here to talk about the efforts you've put in relation to this in source and funding, but I've been getting messages saying that it would have been very difficult to do this without you. So well done to you, Darren, and all the team.
Thanks, yeah, absolutely a team effort, Greg.
Any round of applause for Turman? No? Do I hear any boos? No boos. All good, all good. All right, listen, thanks very much, Anthony. Thank you very much, Darren Gibson, Chair of Turman GAA Club. Have a fantastic evening tomorrow. It's a fantastic achievement. And, you know, tomorrow is the culmination of, you know, one original meeting and everything that happens then to get to where it'll be tomorrow. Okay, our last segment of the 9 till noon show here live from Donegal Horizons coming up shortly.
Today's 9 till noon show is brought to you by Atlantic Travel in Letterkenny. From radio waves to ocean waves. Atlantic Travel, your cruise holiday experts. Visit atlantictravel.ie.
Change is the only constant in business. So whether you're starting or growing your business, our dedicated business teams will always be here to support you every step of the way. Because the best businesses never stop beginning. Search Bank of Ireland Business. Bank of Ireland. Begin. Bank of Ireland is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Sometimes you have to simply enhance what you have. Like the new Opel Mokka. With a new infotainment system, dash, and interior. It's had a little work done. After all, it's what's on the inside that counts. As with the outside, why mess with perfection? The new Opel Mokka. It's a head-turner. Available in petrol, hybrid and electric. Find out more at Manor Motors Opel. See manormotors.ie for details.
Tá an zlí maidir le Johnú Orgán ag gahrú. Ón 7 mehef, be gachtain na fásta in éireann ina diontóir orgán nar a ein siad bás. Cáró sé seo le behadhíní a hábháil agus a ahrú go thomláin. Be an chocht agat péróda tá ceart duitse a ránú. Lair le a hailech agus le a cháirde, chuna chintiú gúil siad ar neolalas faoi do ráha. Fai tiile ólis faoin ahrú seo ag gov.ie/organ donation. Teachtareacht ó Rialtas na Héireann.
Celebrate your love at the award-winning Villa Rose Hotel and Spa Ballybuffet. The elegant Cadbury Suite hosts up to 300 guests with a private garden and romantic stone cottage for unforgettable wedding photos. Experience exceptional service that turns your dream wedding into reality. Visit villarose.ie to start planning.
Donegal Tile Centre in Letterkenny have an anniversary sale with massive discounts throughout the store this week. There's wall tiles reduced to $10.95 a square yard, with selected timber effect floor tiles down from $22.95 to $14.90 a square yard. There's also vanity units down from €460 to €299. Stock is limited, so don't delay. Get along this week and avail of these genuine bargains at Donegal Tile Centre, Ross Few Business Park, Letterkenny, just off the Polestar roundabout.
Highland Radio weather updates with McElhenny's. Find all your summer essentials from fashion and accessories to beauty and homeware at McElhenny's. Explore more in-store or shop online at mcelhennys.com today.
Okay, so there'll be a mix of sunny spells and scattered showers today, with the showers becoming more isolated this afternoon. Temperatures of 12 to 15 degrees, winds light. Be good to get a bit of a respite from the winds there. Now, Bill McIntyre is chair of the board of Donegal Horizons, works with management and staff to make sure everything works. So I think you're doing all right.
I think it's going well. Thank you for being here today,
I think you're
Greg.
doing good. No, it's our pleasure to be here. It's been wonderful. So delighted to be invited and to get down here and to celebrate some of the positives in our community as well. It's great to be able to strike that balance, Bill.
Yeah, it's great to have this to support the communities and like GAA clubs, football clubs, and all here today to see how well that we're knitting into the community, which is a very important part for people with intellectual disabilities, because it's hard to get through to people, and this is a way of doing it. And definitely Donegal Horizons are definitely doing that and breaking through, and they're making a lot of friends along the way. So it's great to see that.
It's also good to see the trainees prosper and to put a spotlight on them and to show what they're achieving.
I think it's most important for the trainees to have a say in what goes on, and that's what I like about Donegal Horizons, is that the trainees have a say in everything that they do. So we're only doing what the trainees wants us to do, and I think that's the very important part.
Bill, you've been working with people with disabilities for much of your life, haven't you?
Yeah.
Why have you dedicated so much of your time to that end?
It's just it's a different way of life. I got involved with Special Olympics over 30 years ago, and I've sort of been attached to it since that. I was coaching and other things, and just the no pressure and the involvement and the love and the satisfaction that you got out of doing it, and the satisfaction of seeing the happiness on the faces of all the trainees and athletes that you work with, it's just unreal. Money can't pay for it,
Yeah, I mean, if you ever needed motivation, there it is.
That's exactly there. Yeah. You see it every day, and you feel it every day, and it's a great thing to have, so it is.
Your son Julian also avails...
Stepson Julian.
Yeah, okay. He avails of services in Strabane, is that right?
He does, yeah. He left Nagavo School at 19.
Mm-hmm.
He's 36 now, and he's been with New Horizons in Strabane since then.
So how many New Horizons are there then? So we know there's one in Carn, there's one here, Strabane, where else?
There's three, that's our three.
The Holy Trinity.
Right round, just.
Yeah. All right, and is there, we heard a little earlier on about how, there's combined events between Carndonagh and Letterkenny. Is there Strabane, is there get-togethers between the three? Or how does that work?
They have football competitions, sports competitions all around the place, and they would meet regularly to go to do sports activities and centres and stuff like that. So, I mean, the socialising part of it is essential, and I think that's a great way of socialising through sport.
And your stepson Julian's story is a familiar one, isn't it? Because, obviously it's the camaraderie, the friendship, but it's also the opportunities that have come from that to work in the community, the broader community, and to grow as an individual and to achieve everything he's capable of achieving.
That's the important part of it, that they're getting out and being seen and getting the chance to feel part of the community and feel as if they're working. That has worked to them, and we really appreciate the chances that everybody gives them, because our trainees are people, and they deserve everything, so they do.
Yeah, for sure. Sheamus, it's been a great day.
It's been unbelievable, yeah, and all thanks to yourselves, kind of putting it out there.
Whoa. Reverse, big fella. Yeah. No, we're only passengers here. We've only just come down to observe and help promote the fantastic work that you and all the teams do here. This is an honour for us to be involved in something like this in any way, shape or form. Sheamus, this is all down to you guys and the brilliant staff here and the smiley, happy people that are here day in and day out. We're going to get a sample of it, but that this is the way it is every day.
Definitely, and it's great to see the likes of the ladies footballers and the men's footballers and the counsellors all getting in here to see what we see every day, and they get to see that there too.
Yeah, okay, indeed. And what's the plans for the summer? Like, do you follow the school terms or what have you, or what
No.
way? I know everyone's here is over 18, right? Don't get me wrong, but do you keep the same regular format throughout the year, or what happens in the summer, or what?
So we go into a summer program. We work through the summer now. We get 2 weeks off in the middle of the summer, but we go into a different program now. It's more of like a relaxed kind of. You go in trips and stuff like that there, and. That's starting now in a couple of weeks' time, and that'll go on for the summer then.
Anything exciting planned? There's lots of exciting planned, but anything?
A few trips now out to the likes of Glen Bay and some of the beaches and stuff like that there.
Yeah.
So there's loads happening now.
Fantastic stuff, and it's a pleasure to watch on, Bill, isn't it? The likes of Sheamus here. We heard from Anne and all the other staff that were too shy to come on. It's an amazing team, Bill, isn't it? Sorry, Bill. Go ahead. Yeah.
We're so privileged to have management and staff working, and I think the highlight of the time for me, was the Stars in Your Eyes show.
Yes, everyone loved that.
When you see the camaraderie between the trainees and the staff and the way they all work together, it just made me so proud to be involved with this organisation.
How did your book do, Sheamus?
I don't know how. Sheamus does a great job here all the time.
What about on stage?
All the staff's the same, so yeah.
Yeah, all right, okay, great stuff. Well, Bill, listen, thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate it.
And thank you, Highland Radio, for coming out here
No, it
today.
is literally what we do. It's our pleasure. And Sheamus, listen, any final words from you? We're wrapping things up now.
No, well, I'd just like to thank everyone for coming down here today and to see what we actually do here and to see our new premises. And hopefully we're just going to keep building on what we have here.
All right, well done, Sheamus. And well done to everyone at Donegal Horizons and their colleagues in Strabane as well, and colleagues in Carndon. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here today. We're going to be back from the studio tomorrow morning, on Friday morning, of course, that is. If you missed any of today's show, watch it back on YouTube or on Facebook, because it's been an absolute delight. But from all of us here at Donegal Horizons in Letterkenny, enjoy your Thursday. Any chance of one last final round of applause? No? Yeah. Yay! All right, have a great day, everyone, and stay safe and stay tuned. John Bresson.